ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. How are we doing, my friends? Happy motherfucking Monday. Hope we're well. Hope we're chilling. I'm your host, Dom Slays, and we're about to get down to business. I hope you had a really good week. Today is our second episode of June, so let's go. It's starting to get warm over here on the East Coast for sure. But for the most part, it's been pretty chill as far as the weather goes. Putting out a lot of content, making sure a lot of stuff for Music Mondays is being worked on in the background. Yeah, man, just keeping this train moving. We do have a couple of things to discuss today before we get into reactions. So, without further ado, let's talk. So, episode 124 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on all platforms and wherever you listen to the podcast. Again, huge shout out to all of our audio listeners over there. I see you guys running up a lot of our episodes, realistically. A lot of our older episodes, a lot of our newer stuff, and anybody who's been really running up everything on audio platforms, huge shout out to you guys, man. You guys are wonderful. Thank you. But with that said, and like I said, huge shout out to anybody that submitted to the show, and huge shout out to everybody that is tuning in and showing love, especially on the YouTube side of things as well. I know a lot of you guys enjoy the YouTube version of the podcast, so huge shout out to both you guys, man. You guys are amazing. So yeah, episode 124 is available on all platforms. Again, we actually dropped 2 articles this week, by the way. A brand new article by Arctic is available on allmusicmondays.com. Arctic reviewed Yules' more recent track titled Wait and Bleed, and it's actually a really hands-on review, and many of you guys saw my discussion last week about journalism and things like that, so a lot of our pieces are very much down to business. You know what I mean? We don't play around when it comes to writing, so definitely go check that out, and huge shout out to Arctic and Yules. Many of you guys know Yules from the show here as well, obviously in the underground community and things like that, so huge shout out to them as well. Speaking of journalism, our Music Journalism in 2023 upload is available on the channel right now. You can go view that if you missed it last week. We pretty much had a 10 to 15 minute talking segment about, the current landscape of music journalism and really, how to survive in an environment like that. You know what I mean? Because again, I'm not going to dive into it super hard here, but a lot of short form content kind of took over, right? You have YouTube Shorts, TikTok, things like that. I mean, shit, even especially with AI, right? AI, I feel like is even crazier because you can just have them read and just do voiceovers of written pieces, and then everything written just becomes an audio version. So it's holy shit. But yeah, I spoke about how writers can survive and how journalism still has a very important place in not only creativity, but more specifically music and art and things like that. So if you missed that, definitely go check that out and go show that some love as well. Definitely one of my more favorite segments, if you will, for sure. Underground Classics of Volume 9 is available right now on our SoundCloud. That is our monthly playlist where a Music Mondays staff member takes the time out of their day to really curate some tracks that inspired them in the underground and really essentially brought them to start creating and a lot of the people that influenced them and a lot of their classic favorites. Definitely not an artist-based playlist. This is definitely more to just honor the people that paved the road for us as well. So definitely go check out Underground Classics if you're interested in some throwbacks from the people that set the standards here in the underground, for sure. A brand new article is also available. We dropped this one Friday. So like I said, 2 articles this week. Lord Heretic actually wrote a wonderful review of Cemetery's new track with BLP Kosher, Hut and Wabbits. Again, that was one that was kind of a no-brainer to cover because, the Cemetery has been super essential to the underground, and a lot of in really a lot of different ways. I'd like to cover that section of the underground a lot more. I personally just don't have the time, and many of you know that UVC interviewed Cemetery in 2020. I think, yeah, I think it was around 2020, and I definitely have some experience with um, that side of the underground. So definitely go check that out as well. And huge shout out to Lord Heretic for writing that one for sure. So yeah, 2 brand new articles are available right now on allmusicmondays.com, my friends. Let's get it. That takes us to SoundCloud Sunday, which is available right now on our SoundCloud as well. Volume 86 is live. That was curated by myself, Waterfalls, and Deep Rest, our 2 staff curators. Yeah, man, SoundCloud Sunday is excellent. Like, that playlist gets perceived really well. I'd like to get more submissions for that as well. So any of you guys interested, submissions drop every Wednesday for SoundCloud Sunday. So you're like, damn, how do I submit? Blah blah blah. We might switch that up to Sunday and just open submissions the same day we drop. But for right now, we're gonna keep it the same, and we'll only be doing submissions opening on Wednesday. Sorry, my brain like shut off right there. So yeah, submissions open every Wednesday. And again, if that's something you're interested in, definitely be on the lookout and follow us on all socials, man, because that's how you're gonna find out the quickest. So, what's next? Well, we put out a brand new cover for our SoundCloud exclusive playlist. So I'm gonna break that down for you guys a bit, and we're gonna talk about SoundCloud exclusives and what Music Mondays is really looking for. So, let's talk, my friends. So as I said yesterday, Sunday, because today is Monday, July 12th, or sorry, June 12th. We put out a, like I said, a brand new cover and a new flyer in search of SoundCloud exclusives. So what do I mean by that? We're looking for tracks to host on the Music Mondays SoundCloud. We already are in talks with a few artists, and we're going to be discussing, really their end of things and how you can get your tracks hosted. So, let's talk. So what do I mean by host and what do I mean by SoundCloud track? Well, we're looking for unreleased songs and we're looking to promote them for free. So this isn't something that you need to pay for or anything like that. Many of you know Music Mondays does the majority of our work for free. You cannot buy anything from us ever. But like I said, with that said, we are we're on the hunt. We're on the hunt for some SoundCloud exclusives, man. Like I said, we're already in talks with a couple artists, and you guys should see some newer tracks start rolling out on our SoundCloud. But if that's something that interests you, feel free to let us know. The track has to be unreleased, and it can't be on any stores or anything like that. But again, we'll only host the SoundCloud version. So if you want to upload the track on stores afterwards, that's completely fine as well. Feel free to do what you want. We only want to host the SoundCloud version and to really start getting a collection of tracks hosted on our SoundCloud. So, genres don't matter, vocals don't matter. We're looking for instrumentals as well. We're also interested in possibly hosting EPs or projects, and music videos as well. We're really looking for some music videos and visuals to host on the Music Mondays YouTube channel as well. So if you're interested in getting something hosted on either of those, definitely let us know, because we'll fully promote them as well. So that'll be Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok. Pretty much where you see us post everywhere else is where we'll be promoting your track. If you don't have cover art, we can also provide that as well. So we're pretty much looking for anybody with just some unreleased, honestly, and we can take care of the rest. We're going to give you guys the hookup, obviously completely free of charge. We're just looking to host and promote some tracks, to be honest with you. So if that's you and you're interested in that, please don't hesitate to send us an email or a DM. You can DM myself here as well. So yeah, I just wanted to make that an announcement and really kind of talk about that for a bit. Same thing with YouTube. If you're looking to host a music video or a visual, um, feel free to hit us up and let us know because that'll be free of charge as well. We're just trying to, not only spread some light on our SoundCloud account and our YouTube channel, but we're also looking to just start archiving some really good classics for the underground community. So again, if that's something you're interested in, feel free to reach out to us. This will probably be uploaded on YouTube as well. So definitely like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let us know in the comments what you want to see from Music Mondays. And if you're interested in getting anything hosted, again, feel free to send us a message, man. So, my friends, that is that. We have quite a few tracks to go over today, so that's what we'll do. Um, yeah. So again, if you're interested in getting some tracks hosted or a visual hosted for Music Mondays, feel free to let us know, and we'll be glad to help you out. So, let's switch over to Twitter and see what's popping. So, let's get it, baby. Let's talk. So, how do you submit to the Music Mondays podcast? What can you submit? Where do you open submissions? Why Twitter? A couple questions we're going to answer here tonight. So, um, submission tweets will always be in the same format, and they'll read artists and creatives. Submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on 6, 12, 23 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/zombplays. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creation, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. 4-hour show limit. Must be following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Patreon subscribers, submissions played first each week. So, that's a handful. What are we talking about? Well, again, contrary to our name, multiple creators have multiple talents, right? They're just multi-talented. So we accept any submissions from vocals, instrumentals, cover art, fashion design, merch, written articles, things like that. We'll be happy to react to and review anything from underground creatives. So again, if that's you, feel free to drop your links. Um, for our show limit, again, kind of to just keep a lot of our scheduling in check, and to keep the show a little bit more palatable to watch, because again, even a 4-hour show is a bit much for some people, but I figured we want to get as many good reviews and reactions in as possible, so we settled at 4-hour show limit, just because we are a weekly show. Again, we're not a monthly show, so it's definitely one of those things where we didn't want to exhaust the staff and myself and things like that, so um we decided on 4 hours instead of kind of doing 7-hour shows and really not having anybody watch them or enjoy them. So that was a big part of that as well. And again, submissions are free, so all we ask is that you follow Music Mondays on Twitter to not only help grow our community, but to give respect to everybody else that's also submitting and waiting for their reactions. And you're also gaining access to a very large community of wonderful, very talented creators. So that's all we ask in exchange for your submission is that you just follow us on Twitter before you submit. So huge shout out to everybody that does that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And submissions will always be free. But if you're looking to cut the line, you want to get your submissions played first earlier in the show, you want to have it just right at the beginning where pretty much everybody is in the live show, everybody is kind of really watching the beginning of the show, feel free to join our Patreon. You'll gain access to the Music Mondays Fast Pass and a whole lot of other goodies depending on what tier you subscribe to. And again, huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays Patreons: Ryuki, SLM, Blank Thought, King Mark, TDG, Cole, and the rest of our former Patreons as well. You guys are amazing, and we love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, we're still working on a couple of merch ideas. I actually talked to the staff about it last week, so that's definitely a go. You'll be seeing some leaks here or there, but keep your eyes posted because that'll be the first thing we do with our Patreon funding. And that's about it, my friends. Submissions close about a half hour to an hour before the show starts, just to really get a head count. And again, we are a live show, so we don't want any rogue submissions during the show, so we don't have to interrupt the flow and nobody really gets cut out of order. So again, just keep that in mind. You have about 6.5 days to submit your tracks. So feel free to take your time. But again, submissions will always close on a Monday. So, that's about it for a lot of the details there, chat. If you have any other questions, of course, feel free to send us a tweet, message, anything like that. Most definitely let us know. But with that said, we are just about ready to hop in here. Let's see how many patrons we have this week, my friends. Lots of really good ones. Lots of, I think, the first time submitting artists as well, which is really cool. We have TDG is a Patreon, SLM is a current Patreon, and that's about it. So we got 2 Patreons this week. I think we had 2 last week as well. So huge shout out to all you guys that are members of the Music Mondays Patreon, man. Ryuki, what's good? I hope you're well. Welcome on in. Happy motherfucking Monday. My Millennium Rod is activated. Let's get it, baby. Yeah, we need the rest of those. What are they called? Millennium pieces, I think. Yeah, I forget. Holy shit. I used to Millennium items. Okay. Yeah. Cause like I knew there was like a slight phrase for it. Damn, it's been so long since I watched Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh my god, I love that though. Holy shit. Yeah, man, shout out the fucking Millennium Rod, baby. But with that said, let's get into it. So, our Patrons are going up first, and then we'll hop into the rest of the community's submissions, my friends. Alrighty. So, first up, we got the homie TDG, and then after that, we'll head into SLM. Again, huge shout out to those 2 for being Patrons on Music Mondays. TDG up first. Really cool. Alternative hip-hop artist, for those of you that don't know. Music Mondays Patreon, and very, very talented. Proud by Me made some satire, still lit, Merry Christmas, 3 hoes. So we're in the middle of June and we're about to react to a Christmas track. So this will be kind of interesting, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how this is gonna make me feel, but I'm down for it. I'm down for it, chat. That's for sure. 5 months ago. Yeah, so okay, yeah, that would make sense. Because it's like what? Fucking like June, or I mean January. All tracks Proud by Me. Okay, TDG. Bro, this cover is actually one of the best TDG covers. It's got to be. It's got to be like top 5. It's got to be. Damn. All right, let's get into it. TDG, 3 hoes.
Welcome. Yeah.
Not now, Mr. McLean, some other time.
Always keep around like 3 hoes. Only I got more tools than Home Depot. Yeah, your man's got the Rari, but that shit got repoed. Make the pussy splash, like my free throws. Get up out my face if you ain't a free throw. Yeah, my bitch got money, she don't freebo. Now I'm back to the bone, they want my meat hoes. But no attention, can I pay to these hoes? Fuck a single, yeah, I want 3 hoes. Yeah, sorry, Santa. Fuck Miss Claus maneuvers pull. For the car, that means we got 4 pulls. Bitch, I'm fucked out, check the scoreboard. Yeah, I let my balls hang and jingle. Taking one of a baddie, yeah, I'm single. Yeah, I let my balls hang, yeah, they jingle. Taking butt if a baddie, ask I'm single. Fuck when I want a triple. Be like me, do the manual, hit the wiggle. Yeah, bitch, I slay. Do like Simon and do what I say. I'm the king, having my way. Work for this. I wasn't just in the right place. Stick out like I got a red nose. Stick out.
Not now, Mr. McLean, some other time.
Stick out like I got a red nose. Stick out like say hello to that bro. Yeah, your mom gave me top and she phone up like some Mentos. Shit so good, gave me bent toes. She will do it if baby said so. Making noise, making ripples like an echo. Yeah, I get that money. Don't come at me if you acting like a dummy.
This mix is crazy.
Yeah.
Not now, Mr. McLean, some other time.
Always keep around like 3 hoes. On me, I got more tools than Home Depot.
Fuck.
Yeah, your man's got the Rari, but that shit got repoed. Make the pussy splash, like my free throws. Get up out my face if you ain't a free code. Yeah, my bitch got money, she don't freebo. Now I'm back to the bone, they want my meat these hoes. Fuck a single. Yeah, I want 3 hoes. Yeah.
Dude.
All I care about is it bad. You want what I have. Too bad, too damn bad, too damn bad.
Bro. How has TDG never fucking submitted that? And that was like such an interesting Christmas track. Like the lyrics themselves were definitely like Christmassy, but the instrumental gave a little Christmas vibe, but like I was expecting like the whole 9 yards kind of deal, you know what I mean? But this caught me off guard in a really good way. Like this is one of the more unique Christmas tracks I've found just because like or I've heard I should say because everything's so like super centered around like bells and this and this and this. Like this is definitely like an A1 Christmas track. But let's break it down though. We're talking about 3 things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of 3 Hoes. Dude, that hook is actually godlike. Okay. So, let's talk instrumental. Self Prod. Might be one of my favorite TDG beats for sure. I love the drums on this. It makes it solid. Nothing clashes too overbearing at all. Levels are great. Vocals sit nice on it. Everything cuts through nice, especially when you consider the drums. No complaints. I don't even. Yeah, no. Whoever mixed this did a good job. Definitely did a solid job, for sure. So the instrumental's really solid. Shining Star though, like I feel like the melodies and like the smaller thing kind of bring the Christmas vibe, but the drums are hard as fuck. Like I'm just a big fan of the drums, the sound selection, and the patterns themselves. So probably drums, to be honest. Probably drums. Definitely drums. So, instrumental solid, drums definitely Shining Star. Let's talk vocals. So, when it comes to vocals, again, mix is really solid. It's pretty heavy on the reverb, which I think fits TDG like really well. Because TDG likes to go for these like sometimes obscure flows, but this one's more constructed, and I feel like the reverb kind of complemented TDG a lot, to be honest. So I do like the vocal mix for sure. Again, vocals sit nice on the instrumental. Everything cuts through nice. I feel like it was a really solid and well-rounded mix when you consider vocals. Shining Star for vocals, I'm kind of torn between the hook and the writing itself because the writing itself is really it's some ear candy for sure. It really is because like you're like looking for these punchlines and you're like absorbing the cadence. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of cool things about these vocals, but every time the hook came back around, it was always hard as fuck. Like the drops were nice, so I'm gonna have to go with the hook, and I like the writing on it too. So yeah, instrumental solid, vocal solid. Let's talk theme. Theme is on point here. Let's go aesthetics. Again, probably top 5 TDG cover for me. TDG's just straight chilling. It's got the Christmas vibes. You got the Christmas hat. Like it's just like deep fried Christmas. Like that's fire as fuck. That is fire as fuck. So aesthetics on point. I think it totally fits. 3 Hoes. So obviously the Christmas puns are heavy throughout the track, but TDG didn't let it like fully become a Christmas track. Like it's one of those like winter tracks you could play around Christmas that's not like a Christmas song. You know what I mean? It's just like it was like it was probably like mostly being worked on around Christmas and then like released like around the holidays. So it's like one of those things where I feel like TDG sprinkled in just enough Christmas to like actually enjoy and not be like the usual kind of Christmas tracks, you know what I mean? Like you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody does kind of like the same thing. This is one of the more unique ones I've heard. So that's what I really like about this theme. TDG just really didn't like lean into the Christmas thing too hard, but let the like track itself kind of do the talking. Like it felt like a winter track, you know what I mean? So with that said, huge shout out to TDG. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. And make sure you follow TDG on SoundCloud. Literally 3 away from 980, man. And of course, make sure you follow TDG on Twitter. 9 away from 160. Go show TDG some love, man. Fellow Music Money's Patreon. Thank you for your support, my friend. And Thank you for your submission. Bro, I have to shave because my nose is getting itchy. Annoying as hell. But again, huge shout out to TDG. Well done, my friend. Up next, we got the homie SLM, a insanely talented hip hop alternative cloud-like artist. Definitely a multi-genre vocalist and producer for sure. But they submitted Cycle, which is the outro to their latest project, Still Learning Myself, Prod Dead Lighters 613, which is tomorrow at the time of this recording. So we're live here on 612. This will be on YouTube. So by the time this is out, go play SLM's album, man. But with that said, we're gonna pop this open in a brand new tab here, okay? So we got some fucking lyrics here. I have a feeling we're gonna get definitely blown away, for sure. SLM has been on some different shit lately. He has really been on some different shit, so I'm kind of excited for this. And really just the whole project, to be honest. So, 4 days ago, so this is like hot off the press. This is literally like brand fucking new. Okay, let's get into it. SLM Cycle.
Yeah, let's go, AP. The shower didn't even feel hot this morning, and probably not, but it seems like a warning and a sign that hell froze over. Although I cannot tell if that's the worst case scenario. As I grow older, I realize that I barely know where anyone is coming from or what they're saying. I had to go where I are, like I'm not playing, but I just know I went from where I'm not staying. Been in one place too long, with this thing behind my face too strong. You think below your waist, waste time not moving on. I just keep pace with myself, running a race with no wealth or prize. I know I could use the exercise, talk too much and flex for eyes. I watch you, but I walk with no crutch and accept that time flies. I feel like the concept has gotten past some guys, but I'm not your counselor, so you can just keep running from the crash. But you'll hear the sounds, I'm sure they're on your ass. Save me like full gear, here's the question, how secure? I need protection, how's the cure? In time I'm coming down, I'm sure, I'm coming down for sure. How's the sound you've heard? Let me down to earth, get me up here first. Fill my cup, kill my thirst enough, but I kinda need to eat. I could do this all over a long time, but I might just need a week. Let me peek, what's behind? Oh, I wanna speak on those times, but I think it's fine if I feel it's all mine. It was too real and the rear view had smaller signs, and they do steal occasional moments in my mind. Just be kind so I can heal some abrasions. The ground so unkind and reveals frustrations, but I find that I need some of that too. To be real, if my answer was always yes, man, what would that do? In all ways less. So I get low because I have to feel tall for days, I've got that too. If I dream enough, I have you. If I seem too stuck, pull me through. Already fooled me once, fuck it. Looked in the mirror, I'd like you to fool me too. Look what I put me through. Oh, you're done, cool me too. This was fun, I'm pushing through. Which could be true, but I don't know that it is. Yeah. But what I know is this. The shower didn't even feel hot this morning, and it probably, yeah, it's probably not, but it seems like a warning, right? Right, that hell froze over. I cannot tell if that's the worst case scenario, cause as I grow older, I realize that I barely know where anyone is coming from, what they're saying. I had to go, like I-R, ear, in Spanish, ear, to go. I had to go. We're all just still learning ourselves, man. I usually, I don't know, like I actually didn't plan this. It's just recording, and I'm listening to just my boy AP go crazy on the guitar, thinking about how he produced all the beats on this project. Even though it wasn't like a project that we made, just sat down and made, it just slowly came together. And I saying that, I feel like, that's all I'm trying to do. Just slowly put it together. There's pieces all over the fucking place. Like all over the place. This place is a mess. This world is a mess, there's pieces everywhere, and we're just, borrowing ideas from time as we pass through. I'm getting real deep, and you can get deep too, I can go Dr. Seuss with it and start rhyming again, like some rappers, but I won't, there's pieces everywhere. But really, all I'm trying to say is that I'm still learning myself. The world is a mess, really happy about how this SLM series is gone, man. It started with Secret Laptop Music. Yeah, it sounds like madness. Shower didn't even feel hot this morning. patient. That's the worst case scenario. As I grow older, I realize that I barely know who anyone is. What I'm saying, I have to go IR like I'm not playing, but I also know I'm learning myself where I'm not staying. We'll figure this out. Been in one place too long, with this thing behind my face too strong. Think below your waist, wasting time, not moving on. I keep pace with myself, running a race with no welded prize. I know I could use the exercise, talk too much and flex for eyes. I watch you, but I walk with no crutch and accept that time flies. I feel like that concept has gotten past some guys, but I'm not your counselor, so you can just keep from the crash. But hear the sounds of chill
Chin up, eyes forward. You'll be alright.
Damn, man, that like felt like a fucking outro. It 100% felt like an outro, like for sure. But before we get into that, Kmart coming in with a Twitch Prime for 13 months. We love you, baby. Thank you so much, my friend, for the resub. Welcome back to the family. We appreciate you using your wonderful Twitch Prime here on the home of the Music Mondays podcast, my channel, our channel, the channel. Let's get it, Mark. Thank you so much, my friend. Let's get it, baby. So this was quite the track, man. This was quite the track. So let's talk, man. This one it definitely gave a heavy outro vibe, but I feel like SLM took a really interesting approach. Not like too experimental or crazy. But we're totally gonna talk about it. We're totally gonna talk about it. So we're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Cycle. So, instrumental, man. Prod Dead Lighters, so huge shout out to Anthony as well. But this is just such a great duo when it comes to production, man. Guitars, pianos, drums, everything is just so finely crafted, if you will. So I feel like it's just a no-brainer every time these two hop on production, for real. So, let's talk mix. Mix is really solid. Really, really solid. Well-rounded, nothing clashing to overbearing, especially when you consider everything that's going on here. I definitely feel like the mix was like really, really important for everything to kind of like have its own space and make sure everything is kind of flowing nicely, right? Like, you know, all the instruments aren't on top of each other. But I feel like this mix is really solid when it comes to instrumental. So mix definitely A1. Shining Star. This is now look. You know, we're clocking in at 4 minutes and 23 seconds here. So this is no short instrumental, okay? So for that reason, I'm gonna say structure. Like, I like the sound selection a lot, and I like the drums a lot, but the structure is so well done here for such a long instrumental. With the vocals and kind of how the outro of this track went, structure was on point. Absolutely. Just especially how everything kind of like faded out, things like that. I feel like structure was definitely finely tuned. Definitely finely tuned. So instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Let's talk vocals. So, again, vocal mix is really solid. I've always been a fan of SLM's vocals, realistically. The kind of reverb, like just like a nice touch of like it just brings a softer kind of effect. But also like SLM's delivery has always been like really solid as well. So combine that with a solid mix and have everything kind of sit nicely on the instrumental and everything still cut through. A vocal mix is awesome. 100%. Without a doubt. So, Shining Star here, I feel like writing would probably be an easy cop-out because, like, look at this shit. Like, the writing is actually super fucking poetic in this one, especially, like, the first couple bars here are, like, really crazy. And SLM is never short of, like, making us, like, really be put in their shoes. You know what I mean? So writing is fucking amazing here, but I feel like the way it's backed up by this flowing cadence and almost starts off as like an alternative rock song, but slowly like turns into like a dark kind of almost like ambient hip hop track. You know what I mean? But it's almost like it's kind of wild, like the mood change, but there's no beat switch, so it's like really really unique. Um, so yeah, delivery and flow and cadence are super important here because the writing's on point. And it's super vivid, but the flow and cadence is like really excellent here. Poetic and really like not like high energy, right? But it's like it's firm and the delivery is like there. So definitely flow and cadence and delivery for sure for the vocals. Overall theme. Let's talk overall theme. So aesthetics. Shout out Michael for this cover art as well. Many of you know my opinion on this art, but if you haven't, definitely album worthy for sure. Definitely has the SLM kind of Deadlighters color palette as well. I've always noticed that SLM kind of gravitates towards the more lighter sides of colors, which I always found like really interesting. But it's like not just lighter colors, you know what I mean? So the contrast of everything in here is like really cool. And I've really always thought it was album worthy for sure, 100%. So, overall theme. This one's kind of interesting because it is the outro to the project, but the track is called Cycle. And about like halfway through the track, we get through pretty much all of the vocals. And the vocals wrap back around, but they kind of end in like a different way. Um they don't keep repeating like a hook would or anything like that. It definitely gets switched up towards the outro of this track. So it's almost like a metaphor for like breaking the cycle. And SLM kind of touches on a few of the analogies for like being in the cycle of your own life or like being in just any cycle realistically. There's definitely some lines in here that point to that. But when it comes to like a broad overall theme, I feel like it's kind of ironic that you would call uh this song Cycle, but when it goes back around to repeat itself, it's almost like SLM kind of like breaks the cycle towards the end in like the last like 30-40 seconds. So really interesting, pretty deep theme here depending on like how you break it down, but um SLM kind of always had like songwriting and themes and just really like a lot of that was it's just like always on point, but like as a listener, it's always interesting to think about. You know what I mean? Super interesting. So with that said, a huge shout out to SLM. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you follow SLM on SoundCloud, man. Literally 5 away from 60. Go get SLM to 60, man. Make sure you follow SLM on Twitter as well. 1 follower away from 330 or 11 from 340. So make sure you go show SLM some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 subaroonies on the main channel, man. If you haven't subbed, please do. We upload every Thursday and Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff. If you're already subbed, huge shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing. Dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good stuff. We see you, I see you, and thank you. Always appreciate you. Thanks for letting me share this project here over first. No, let's go. Let's get it, SLM. It's always been a pleasure, man. It's always been a real pleasure, to be honest with you. It's been cool to not only see your journey, but this project has been like a long time coming for you. So I'm definitely excited to see how everything kind of rolls out for you, for sure. But much love, my friend, of course, definitely. So that does it for our patrons for the night. Huge shout out to TDG and SLM. Thank you for your submission, my friends, and thank you for pledging to the Music Mondays Patreon. You guys are wonderful. So you guys know what the fuck's up. It's time to hop into our community submissions. And first up, we got the homie Just Waz. And Waz has been fucking killing it. Multi-talented, multi-genre artist, but this week we get something really special. Wanted to share this music video, and it's a song titled Felt, produced by Third Revolution. Now, Waz is a very talented hip-hop artist, as I said, but we have yet to react to any visuals from them. So I'm pretty excited for this one, I'm not gonna lie to you. Just because it's not often we get to react to newer artists' visuals, you know? I'm definitely excited for sure. So, song is available on all platforms right now. Oh, so 1 year ago, definitely not too old at all. Go run on my music. Every stream helps. Thanks to Third Rev and Chash. Cannot do nothing without them. Video edited by Waz. Okay. Okay. Self-edited. We love that. All right. Bunch of love in the comments. Let's get it. This was Felt.
Yeah, listen. It's felt. Ha. It's felt. It's felt. Rev with the stealth.
Revolution.
I low-key felt the shit you said the other day. Thinking back, it makes me feel a type of way. I feel my parents are worried about me, so what's next? I feel alone, bro. I'm feeling stressed. I felt the moment this music called my name. I felt the bass, I felt the whole car shake. I feel that judgment might have overheard what you said. I feel isolated but never felt ashamed. I felt jive junior year when I blew the game. I wrote some raps that made me feel so damn insane. Feeling nervous now, a little out of place. I might ease the pain, who knew about the gateways? Stepping out of reality feels deranged. Wait, car crash, you feel suspense but things don't stay. Remember how hard it was for me to say hey. Surprised I was rapping videos of me now on stage. Wait. Feeling like you might not know the slightest. Skeleton is vital, you're flying high with the pilot. Feeling some controversial, I'm fighting. Do I stand for what's right and speak, use my voice as inspiration? I'm constantly feeling faded. Feel like I spend too much time in the basement. Plus I feel like I'm always flaking. Sometimes I feel like I don't know what I'm chasing. I low-key felt the shit you said the other day.
What
Thinking
the
back,
fuck?
it makes me feel a type of way. I low-key felt the shit you said the other day. Thinking back, it makes me feel a type of way.
No way. That was gold. What? Wow, dude. This might be one of the top self-edited videos we've seen here on the show. Definitely top 10. Not even a question. 125 episodes, this is definitely top 10. For, like, self-edited and not edited by a director or another editor, for sure. For sure. This was impressive. Well fucking done. I like this a lot. So, Waz has been submitting consistently, and, you know, it's so exciting to see, what their libraries were like, because like it's it's just pretty crazy, man. Pretty fucking crazy, because like we've reacted to a couple bangers from Waz, but this is the first music video, like I said. So very cool. Let's break this down. We're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, and talk about the video instead of the theme here. So let's talk instrumental. This one's definitely more on the slow, classical kind of hip hop vibe for sure. I'm big on the drums here for this one, definitely. I like the mix as well, nothing clashing to overbearing. Drums kind of sit real nicely. I'm pretty confident in saying that the mix is like really well rounded, but the drums are definitely the shining star to me. Just because they really give that like classic hip hop vibe that was like sounds really good on, but at the same time they keep a lot of the bounce up as well. So it just brings that classic hip hop feel with like more like modern sounds, if you will. So yeah, definitely drums for the instrumental. Proud Third Revolution, so shout out them. Vocals. So again, vocal mix really solid. Not really a shocker though. We've gotten enough of a sample size of Waz to understand that their vocal mix is always going to be really fucking solid. I've yet to hear a vocal mix where I was like, could have went back and listened to that a couple more times. Nah, not at all. And plus, like when it comes to vocal mixes, I don't like to react and review those too hard, because a lot of that is like creative preference, and some people might not like as opposed to other people and things like that. So if you like it, you like it. You know what I mean? So no worries there. But again, vocal mix really solid, definitely well rounded. Everything cuts through nicely for sure. But as I said, to be expected from Waz, but you always gotta point it out, right? I really love the flow on this. The flow on these vocals are fucking crazy, but the writing is also really solid too. Like with the addition of lyrics in the music video, I think that's also like a super bonus, to be honest with you. Um, it's just a little bit extra spice and really like pushes the track up. You know what I mean? Um, I'm not sure where Waz is from. I noticed they're wearing a Yankees cap, so possibly New York. It definitely looked like the East Coast. That's what I was getting at. It definitely looked like somewhere on the East Coast because many of you know, obviously, I'm based in Massachusetts, so I could really just tell, but I could be completely wrong. Could be completely wrong. Um, so writing is definitely a really like big big part here. You could kind of like skip out on talking, but I feel like again that's kind of like an easy cop out because Waz is just like a really good writer to begin with. So a flow and cadence for this one as well. Just because it kept you interested, it kept you listening. Sometimes like the lyrics don't even have to be that well detailed, but the flow and cadence just makes you listen to the next bar, the next line. Just look for shit, right? That's why flow and cadence is like such a big deal here, and I think Waz did a really good job with that. So definitely delivery, flow, and cadence for sure. Um, yeah, yeah. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely flow and cadence. Let's talk visual. So again, this is the first time we've seen Waz on a visual, which is really fucking cool. First thing, many of you know, Waz is definitely not camera shy. You know what I mean? Many of you know that that's like the first thing that we kind of notice, and Waz is super fucking comfortable on the camera. Super comfortable on the camera. Even like doing like more like acting type of shit. It's not even like off guard shots. It's like some of these shots right here where he's like full blown like ranting but also like rapping type shit, like almost to like a therapist or this and this. Like I feel like the layout and the direction and like kind of like how this was like organized in like scenes, this was fucking solid. You know what I mean? But it kind of all starts off with looking good on camera, and was definitely looks extremely comfortable. Quite possibly not the first video they've ever filmed, so that's probably why. Um, but I do like the fact that they look, you know, very chill throughout all of these shots. Um, but the editing is something I can't get over because it's self-edited, right? I mean, if it was edited by another party, that's what they do. That's what they're there for. They're an editor, or just somebody who knows how to do that. But the fact that Was kind of took creative direction on their own is really fucking cool. Like really, really fucking cool. I'm big on this. Like I'm real big on this because like a lot of the shots were nice, but like the details of the transitions and like some of the filters and like I said, like the addition of lyrics as well, I thought was like really fucking awesome. Um, but at the same time, like it's really the small stuff, like the fact that Waz is like completely comfortable, and like a lot of the scenes here are either like indoors in the crib, or it's like outside, kind of like sitting like on just either outside the crib, outside like a spot or whatever. And then like even the addition of the show footage there, and then like how it transitions, like there's so many small things here that just made this for me, and it totally made it like entertaining as far as like the amount of like footage and like the way it was edited was very much like it was just really well done and thought out. You can tell it was like really thought out, and was spent probably a decent amount of time on this. Definitely not something you whip up in like 10 minutes, not at all. So well fucking done, my friend. With that said, a huge shout out to Just Was. Make sure you go sub to their channel. Literally 6 sub-a-roonies away from 380 on Waz's channel. Let's get it, baby. And of course, make sure you follow Just Was on Twitter, approaching 1.2K on the Bird app. Make sure you go follow Was. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 subscribers on the main channel, so make sure you go show the main channel some love. And of course, we upload every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there. So consider subscribing. And if you already have, you've been dropping likes, you've been dropping comments, we appreciate you. And thank you. Let's fucking get it, baby. So, well done, man. Shout out to Waz and shout out to the whole community, man. You guys are amazing. Um, so up next we got the homie, Skeletor Goat. Now, Skeletor is a person I don't think we've reacted to on the show for quite a bit. It's definitely been some months, but definitely an artist that we frequently put on SoundCloud Sunday. Again, a very talented alternative hip hop artist. More on the like the funk, alternative funk side. Slightly like experimental hip hop as well. But they submitted a track titled "Where My Roses," Prod Rain. So let's pop it open in a new tab. See what we got here. What the fuck is that from GTA? It kind of looks like it, but I don't know. It kind of looks like it's from GTA, but I can't like tell for sure. Lyrics and description as well. Okay. Spotify, mix and master by me. Rain is super amazing. Shout out Rain for the production. Lots of love in the comments. Okay. 23 days ago, so definitely brand new. Not old whatsoever. Let's get into it. Skeletor, a goat, Where My Roses. Oh my god. Holy shit.
Where my roses at? Garden clean, no hoes for that. Money green, got hoes for that. Rock solid, I'm built for that. Move with precision, windows tinted. In that Cadillac, no witnesses, no loose ends. Fuck around, get your brain splat. Damn. Come collected, lost in the gaze. Mary Jane got me in a cake. Shorty got me stuck in a lane. Maintain my space, I'm in the zone. Don't see my exes, only O's. Fool me twice, can kiss my tone. Easy come, bitches go. Stack it dough and get it dome. They say Skelly, why you acting strange? Arrange my game, stacking up just like terrain. Pushing weight, I leave no trace. In the caddy, won the race. Pulling strings, I beat the case. Hold up. Ring, gotta pick up. Walk in the room, back up. Like it to fit, close up. Got my money for the hookup. Got the code from my watch, I need a checkup. Pour me some medicine in my double cup. Okay.
That was fucking nuts. This beat is so hard.
Sipping on success, I'm just a vet you can't test. I play the losers in chess with the moments I invest. Defeating all these pests who try to be a threat. Never forget things that you said that made me upset. Okay. Gallia with his goons, with him Sammys. Walking downtown, hit on with him 20s. These guns are like sentry, shooting plenty. Sparks from the Glock like confetti. Now the clips are empty, bitch, you know my game, we war ready. Got a big blaster like Mega Man. Talking shit when I'm be getting big band. Drop top of the caddy. Think I'm skirt already like he doing a running man. Okay.
Wow. Well fucking done. That was crazy. I knew once this beat dropped, it was gonna be fucking nuts. I just knew it. I just fucking knew it, man. Okay, let's break this one down. So we're gonna talk about three things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Where My Roses. So, Alright, let's talk instrumental, because this is a fucking crazy ass instrumental. Mix is great, nothing clashing to overbearing at all. I like the way the vocals sit as well. Drums fucking definitely cut through everything. I actually like the way the drums knock for sure. Instrumental mix, solid. Shining Star. You know, I love the melody here. I feel like the melody is fucking amazing. But I really like the drums, dude. I really like the drums. I do. I really do. This one's kind of hard to pick. I like the drums, but the melody is so memorable. So for that reason, I'm definitely gonna say the melody, just because it's just so memorable, man. And the sound selection on it is just perfect. So definitely the melody. So the instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is great. Nothing clashing to overbearing. I definitely feel like it's like one of those vocal mixes that's not like raw, but it's like really like touched up and like it's really well rounded and not like overly done, but it just keeps that raw feel as well. So the vocal mix is solid, definitely. Skeletor definitely has always had like a decent vocal mix, from everything that we've heard here on the show. So vocals definitely solid. Um, the flow and cadence is pretty fucking crazy here, but a lot of the writing and like punchlines is like damn. But the flow and cadence kind of like it's like impossible to not like bop your head. You know what I mean? It's impossible. Like, and plus like to kind of like deliver this and like think of this kind of flow is like another thing too. So, definitely flow and cadence is the shining star for vocals for sure. 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocals are solid, flow and cadence, and you know, definitely like delivery you could throw in there, but writing is a close second for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and say writing. Let's talk theme. I don't know if this is from GTA as far as aesthetics go. I like this cover though, regardless. I've always liked these like weird, obscure screenshots of like just not like random shit, but just like shit that you fuck with. Like I've always loved this style. Um, so aesthetics are definitely on point for sure. Overall theme, Where My Roses. So kind of kind of an interesting track title because there's a couple of things that Skeletor kind of touches on here, not necessarily like getting your flowers. Because people always deserve their flowers no matter who you are, you know what I mean? Like you should always appreciate people like while they're here. So it's kind of like a metaphor for that as well. Just really giving people their flowers while you still can. But there's a couple of other things that Skeletor kind of touches on here, so I do feel like that title was definitely more so for them as well, and kind of just having like a real, not like a hidden theme, like a theme for themselves, and really like what this song ultimately means to them. So a couple things you could really take from this as far as theme goes, but I do think it's one of those themes that Skeletor kind of came up with on their own and really just kind of laid the groundwork and just let the lyrics kind of speak for themselves. You know what I mean? So with that said, huge shout out to Skeletor. Make sure you follow Skeletor on SoundCloud. Literally one follow away from 640, man. That was a great milestone. Make sure you follow Skeletor on Twitter as well. Approaching 940, about 7 away on the bird. So make sure you go show Skeletor some love, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 subscribers. I can't even believe I'm actually saying that. 180 subscribers on the main channel is fucking cooked. So huge shout out to you guys, man. And if you haven't subbed, consider doing so. We upload every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff's available over there. And huge shout out to everybody that already has been showing love. You guys are awesome. Thank you. So, let's get it, baby. Up next, we have, I believe, a first-time submitting artist. I know Oathkeeper definitely has made a couple of SoundCloud Sundays, but I don't think we've reacted to them here on the show. So this will definitely be interesting. But they submitted a full EP. This is an EP I released last month. Any chance you'd be interested in taking a peek? Yeah, so the deal with full projects and EPs, for those of you that do, just drop links and, drop whatever your latest is, that's fine. But when it comes to full projects and EPs, obviously we can't listen to all of the project here on the show, because of course we have other submissions to get to as well. But we'll be happy to listen to the first track of your project, playlist, or album, and really talk about a couple things when it comes to really track listing and order and things like that. So I'm definitely excited to see what we got here. So Oathkeeper again submitted a EP with 5 songs titled Neon. And again, this is the first time submitting artists here on the show. If they have submitted, it's been quite a long time. So I'm definitely excited. So let's see here. Lots of really cool names on here. Shout out Bear Dex, I Bleed I Care, a couple of people we featured here on the show a couple of times. So this will be really cool. So obviously we'll just play the intro track, which is Neon, with Oathkeeper, 44 the beat, and Bear Decks. Let's see what we got here. Neon, Oathkeeper.
Looks like I'm on, I'm gonna fucking blow up. Feel like I'm drunk, I'm gonna fucking glow up. You know it's all time, you know you won't fucking show up, bitch. You better just shut the fuck up. Fuck up my own, fuck if I go. Ain't been the same since I turned 21. Everything's wrong, check out this song. Yeah, they just said, but I'm still going on. Ain't that a bitch? Yeah, you know it don't miss, bitch, I'm like, I don't fuck with that shit,
Complain about my slang, but it's shit we just agree on. Complain about the leg, cause you just got killing spree on. Is you such a drag? Ain't it left like my name Elon? Run up in a black, but I'm blowing up like neon. I'm blowing up like neon. But I'm blowing up like neon. Neon. But I'm blowing up like neon.
Smoking on the trees like my ops. I got that vision cyclops. I got that beam red dot. I got that vision on paid. I got your bitch and she glazed. I put that pussy a slave. I'm getting money, I'm paid. Bet that bitch wish that she stayed. I'm on a whole nother level. Baby, come dance with the devil. I got that heat in my lap. I do my dope with a show. Light the block up, turn it neon. Stay with the evil like Leon. Extended clip came with the beam on. Extended clip came with the beam on.
Complain about my slang, but it's shit we just agree on. Complain about the leg, cause you just got killing spree on. Is you such a drag? Ain't it flip my name Elon? Run up in a black, but I'm blowing up like neon. But I'm blowing up like neon. But I'm blowing up like neon. 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 But I'm blowing up like neon.
That hook is fucking gas. That hook is definitely gas. Okay, this was solid. I feel like, again, before we break this down, a great intro track, 100%. It's one of those songs that could definitely hook you into the rest of the project, right? Like, whether you do a slow intro, a banger as your first track, or anything, you want that first track on your project to just hook people in and really get them interested in what the rest of the project kind of entails. So some people prefer the shorter, like 60 minute 30 intros of just maybe an instrumental, or some people just prefer putting like a fucking banger to get people to keep listening. So actually it's kind of crazy that both these songs are 207. That's pretty nuts. But yeah, all preference, but you know, you just got to make it count, and I definitely feel like this one counted. This one definitely counted for sure. So great choice on the intro track. But we're gonna talk about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Neon. Let's talk instrumental. Instrumental mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing at all. Vocals sit really nice. Drums cut through for sure. It's definitely a well-rounded instrumental mix for sure. Shining Star might be the drums because they keep up a lot of bounce, but the melody's very memorable. So I'm gonna go ahead and say drums just because I really like the bounce on this for sure. More specifically, the drum sound selection and the patterns are like really solid. Okay, so instrumental solid, definitely the drums for sure. Let's talk vocals. So, Oathkeeper definitely kicked this off really hard, and 44 really came in and like brought in like a different vibe. You know, cuz this is definitely going in like the alternative pop direction, but 44 definitely came through and like really gave like a solid verse when it comes to like switching up the flow, but also keeping on like the same pace of what Oath really wanted to do. But before we get into that, mix is solid. Again, nothing clashing, too overbearing at all. Vocals sit nicely on the instrumental. Everything cuts through. I like Oathkeeper's and 44's vocal mix as well, for sure. definitely just solid mixes. Nothing too particular you could really like point out. But they are solid for sure. Shining Star when it comes to vocals. I like the dynamic of these two, but Oathkeeper on the Hook is like really just kicks off the meaning of this project to me and really just makes you want to dive in. So for that reason, I'm definitely going to say the hook. Definitely the hook is the Shining Star. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. Great aesthetics, to be honest with you. Totally project worthy. Definitely matches with the name. I like the color palette. I like the fadedness of it, but it's also very simplistic, super minimal, which kind of does a lot more for this cover. Like I feel like this design in the middle is so extravagant that I feel like going simplistic and minimalist was like a really solid choice. So definitely EP or project worthy cover art 100%. Overall theme, Neon. I mean, for the track Neon, it definitely like like right off the just right off the rip through the hook, you can like almost get like the whole theme of this project realistically. Like it's right in the hook, right? Glowing up like neon. So something like that is like a super easy metaphor to like break down and continue to really just push. You know what I mean? Like really, really push. So super easy, and it's pretty self-explanatory, but both definitely breaks down a few things when it comes to the hook. So this is definitely one of those that you could probably find out more about the overall theme of the whole project. But as far as the track Neon goes, I feel like this is a great introduction again, and definitely like hits the nail on the head when it comes to an overall theme, for sure. So with that said, huge shout out to Oathkeeper. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Oathkeeper on Twitter. They are literally 3 follows away from 420. Make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And subscribe if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 subscribers on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, so huge shout out to all you guys that are subscribed. And if you haven't, we upload 2 times a week, man, so consider subscribing. We upload every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the channel. So make sure you go show the channel and these artists some love, my friends. Thank you. And if you already have, again, we appreciate it. And thank you for showing love to the Music Mondays YouTube channel. Dropping likes, dropping comments, anything, even if you're just watching the videos, we appreciate you. So, up next, we got the homie Braden. Braden has been fucking killing it. Like, really, really killing it, for sure. We've gone through so much of their discography and really just it's just been such a pleasure to break down Braden's library, man. Like it's just banger after banger, and a very talented alternative vocalist, alternative pop, if you will, as well. A couple of genres that Braden mixes. But with that said, they submitted a track titled No Point. Take a look and see what we got here, chat. 156. So we got a quick little banger here. Let's see what we got. Okay. 2023. So brand new, definitely dropped this year. Let's see here. Okay. Let's get into it. Hi Braden, No Point. Oh, this fucking bangs.
There's no point in playing games. Told him stay in your lane. You do it for the fame. Only got yourself to blame. In the storm spitting flames. You know we're not the same. He brings his family shame. He's making false claims. That boy talking tough. We gon' kick his fucking door in. Bitches sleeping on me and you know that bitch is snoring. Heard your last song, man, that shit was really boring. He just wants attention, so you know we'll just ignore him. Head to her crib, then we're gonna have some big sex. I'm making big checks, big bags, big bitches. That's a big flex. All my homies going up, I'm going big next. Why are you a wolf in sheep's clothing? You talking tough, little boy, is reloading. We gon' dump his body in the ocean. There's no point in playing games. Told him stay in your lane. You do it for the fame. Only got yourself to blame. In the storm spitting flames. You know we're not the same. He brings his family shame. He's making false claims. That boy talking tough. We gon' kick his fucking door in. Bitches sleeping on me and you know them bitches snoring. Heard your last song, man, that shit was really boring. He just wants attention, so you know we'll just ignore him. Head to a crib, then we're gonna have some big sex. I'm making bank, I'm making big checks. Big bags, big bitches, that's a big flex. All my homies going up, I'm going big.
There's no point in playing games.
Okay.
Told him stay in your lane. You do it for the fame. Only got yourself to blame. In the storm spitting flames. You know we're not the same. He brings his family shame. He's making false claims.
What the fuck? That beat switch was crazy. Okay. Minute 56, and that was like that felt longer. Like that was like really well constructed as far as like keeping like the variety up, you know what I mean? Like this was like not a repetitive song whatsoever. This is well done. So let's break this down, chat. We're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of No Point. Let's get into it. So, let's talk instrumental. Man, mix is great. Not really a shocker there. Braden's mixes, especially when it comes to the instrumentals they choose and the producers they work with, the instrumentals mix is always on point. Drums really knock. Vocals sit nicely. Nothing clashing too overbearing at all. I like the mix. No surprise, but always got to point it out. Shining Star for the instrumental. Drums 100%. I love the way the drums fucking knock, and I'm a huge fan of like the drum selection and the overall sound selection of everything. So drums all day. Drums definitely all day. It keeps the song a little bit softer with the melody, but the drums make sure it brings that like aggressiveness to this track. So I like that a lot. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals here. Vocals. All right. I like this vocal mix as well. I think Braden sounds really good on this song. I don't know if it's like a different engineer or maybe I'm just fucking crazy, but I do like this vocal mix a lot. Vocals do sit nice as well on the instrumental. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Drums cut through perfectly. That's why I say drums the shining star, because I really like the drums a lot. So vocal mix is really solid. I like the hook, but the verses are like really interesting. I really like the hook. Yeah, I'm gonna probably go with the hook. Definitely the hook is the shining star of the vocals, just because it's like super catchy and like every time it drops, you're like, okay, you know what I mean? Okay, so definitely the hook for sure. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. I mean, realistically, from the hook, I feel like this is a no-brainer cover choice for sure. Just because it's like this little cat just like not giving a fuck, you know what I mean? And that's exactly what this song is about. It's like no point in beefing with like lames and weirdos and things like that. So that's like pretty much the energy that this cat is giving off. And again, we have the standard like Braden kind of aesthetics when it comes to the cover as well. So again, really solid choice. So aesthetics on point. The overall theme of No Point. So kind of self-explanatory, but again, you know, really like no point in beefing with certain weirdos, you know what I mean? Because like a lot of them just like look for attention, especially like a lot of like just weirdos, man. People are weird. People are just as weird as they are nice and good people. There's just a bunch of weirdos out there too. So I definitely feel like this theme was kind of like a no-brainer, and I feel like Braden did like a really good job kind of like staying on theme, but also like kind of not being too subtle, but also being subtle and just kind of throwing like subliminals and made for like a really entertaining track, but also like a vibey track. Like you could definitely bop to this even if you didn't like really relate. But I'm sure most people can relate, and it's one of those like fuck you kind of songs, you know what I mean? So well done. With that said, huge shout out to Braden. Make sure you follow Braden on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow Braden on Twitter. They are literally approaching 30 followers. Only 7 away, man. Go show Braden some love on the bird, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Approaching 180 subroonies on the main Music Mondays channel, so make sure you go show the channel and these artists some love. And if you already have, thank you. We see you dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good stuff. And if you haven't, we upload 2 times a week, man, every Thursday and Saturday. So make sure you go check out the channel and subscribe if you like what we do over there. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there. So make sure you go show the channel some love, my friends. So, let's continue on, chat. So up next, we got the homies Supersaurus. Non-binary fronted indie pop girl band. Okay. And they submitted a track titled Safe. Yeah, so this is the first time we've definitely gotten a submission from them. So we have a couple first time submitting artists. But, let's see what we got here, chat. From London, England as well. Shout out London. So let's pop this open a new tab. First time submitting artists, Supersaurus. Kind of interested. Okay, we got some lyrics as well. Let's get into it. What we got here, chat. Supersaurus, Safe. Damn.
Maladaptive daydream, something like a movie scene. Half awake holiday, somewhere I can run away. Half a day, half a brain, somewhere I can hide from all my shame. Sweet like ice cream, summer love and dopamine. Keep it all locked up in a safe, it can stay something I can dream about. Hide it all away, keep it safe, it can stay something I can't live without. Keep it all locked up in a safe, it can stay something I can dream about. I can't ever live without. Keep it all locked up in a safe, it can stay something I can dream about. I can't ever live without. Generation runaway, darling little Novocaine.
Damn, bro.
Somewhere hidden between pages of a magazine. Every day Halloween, somewhere I don't need to be perceived. Technicolor getaway, just another Sunday. Keep it all locked up in a safe, it can stay something I can dream about. Hide it all away, keep it safe, it can stay something I can't live without. Keep it all locked up in a safe, it can stay something I can dream about.
Damn!
Keep it all locked up in a safe, it can stay something I can dream about. I can't ever live
Damn. Okay. Well fucking done. What a first time submission, man. We've been getting so many talented like band submissions and submissions from groups and duos and wow, man. Well fucking done. Impressive. Very impressive. Let's break this down. So, we're gonna talk about 3 things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Safe. So, man, oh man. Let's talk instrumental. Mix is solid, nothing clashing, too overbearing at all. Really, really big fan of the mix. It's super crispy, super like wide and theatrical and like really well rounded. I definitely feel like it's one of those mixes that like you just can't sleep on. It's like such a like really well like put together mix. Like the levels are like really crazy. So yeah, big fan of the mix for sure. Um, okay, so mix is really solid as far as the instrumental goes. Vocals sit nicely. Drums cut through nicely, 100%. Um, Shining Star, man. I don't know. I was gonna say drums, but the overall structure and like how the instrumental itself is just really laid out is fucking solid. So I might even say structure. I really might. Uh, hmm. Structure could be. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say structure, man. I really like the way this instrumental's fucking laid out. I really, really do. So yeah, I'm gonna go with structure just because it is really, it's just really like laid out nicely. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely a structure. I love the instrumental structure. Mix is great on the instrumental. Let's talk vocals. The vocals are fucking just as good as the instrumental when it comes to the mix. The mix is fucking super crispy, really well rounded. I love the vocal mix. Again, wide, theatrical, has a lot of personality. Super fucking solid, super solid. So, vocal mix is great. Shining Star when it comes to vocals, the hook, the way it's performed, the flow and cadence of the hook, the way it's written, the way it drops every time, definitely the hook. The hook is fucking 10 out of 10 for me. Like I love the hook. Totally Shining Star there. So, instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocals super solid, definitely the hook is the Shining Star. Let's talk overall theme. So, let's talk aesthetics. So, as far as like a single cover, I feel like you can't get much better than this, especially when you know, are a group or a band or even a collective. Like this is exactly what you want, right? Like have a little bit of like a faded group photo with like the text in the top right. Like I feel like this was really well done when it comes to something that like is like super easy to like look at, but like totally means a lot to like your whole crew. So I feel like this is like a really good common ground and really simplistic and high quality. So again, kind of nailed it when it comes to the aesthetics for sure. Um, let's talk overall theme. Safe. I mean, kind of a no-brainer title there, right? Keep it in a safe, keep it locked up in the safe. A lot of things that you hold close to you sometimes in life, just never come back out. And, you know, sometimes you just keep certain things locked away. You know what I mean? And I feel like they hit the nail on the head when it comes to this theme and metaphor. Super easy to get behind. Because even if like you don't necessarily like relate to it in this moment, you either have related to it or just really enjoy the sonic parts of this track, man. Because you don't necessarily need to be going through to like fully enjoy this and really like what this track offers. So theme is totally on point, and definitely one that I think a lot of people can relate to for sure. With that said, huge shout out to Super Source. Thank you so much for the submission, my friends. Much love. Make sure you follow them on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow them on Twitter as well. Literally 4 follows away from 340. Go show them some love on the bird. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 Subarunis on the main channel, so make sure you go show the main channel some love, my friends. And of course, we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. So make sure you go check us out, man. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the channel, man. So go show some love to the channel. And if you already have been, drop a like, drop comments, or even if you just kind of view our channel, we appreciate you. Thank you, my friends. Well fucking done to the community tonight, man. We have quite the stack up next. A really solid stack. If we're being honest, we got some Filter, we got a returning Ivica, with some Astral Trap. Okay, man. Okay, let's get it, baby. All right, so we just left off with the homies Super Source, and up next we got the homie El Runa. Now El Runa's been killing it. Really been killing it for sure. Very talented alternative vocalist. But they hit us up recently and asked if they could submit some unreleased, and of course, absolutely. And they submitted a unreleased track titled Deep Side, and I'm really excited to get into it. So let's pop this open in a new tab and we'll see what we got here, chat. So, official cover here as well. Fucking amazing cover. I'm pretty sure Al Runa's last cover for the track that we reacted to, the last couple tracks, were like fucking 10 out of 10. I really like their cover art choices a lot. So well fucking done. So, lyrics and description, which is really cool. 2 minutes flat. Let's get into it. The exclusive Music Mondays premiere, Deep Side by Al Runa. Let's get into it.
I'm swimming in a deep side, shallow as it seems. No wonder you can't recline at its fullest steam. You be spending on its cheap time, chasing but a dream. Living such a cheap life, but I can't say a thing. I'm swimming in a deep side, shallow as it seems. No wonder you can't recline at its
Oh my.
fullest steam. You be spending on its cheap time, chasing but a dream. You're living such a cheap life, but I can't say a thing. Oh, there's a time and a place for that. Cross that line once, we can't go back. Yeah, I know I type you the one to attack. Pull it to my house with a baseball bat, say baby it's fine. I'm playing this time. I'm sorry with a look in your eye. The shivers my spine. I'm boring. Blood. I'm giving into the pull of the sun. Sinking into the weight of the mud. 'Cause I would break my bones to break your fall. And I would take it all to take you home. I never felt so close, but felt so alone. And now I feel so grown, but so damn slow. Alright for the eating. Sitting there looking all sweet, but you run to the core, those looks are deceiving. Everybody's eyes on you, but you wish someone more turned down for the weekend. Don't want me dirty, I can't believe that it's hurting, but I would do it. I'm swimming in a deep side, shallow as it seems.
Man.
No wonder you can't recline that it's full of steam. You be spending all this cheap time chasing about a dream. You're living such a cheap life, but I can say a thing. I'm swimming in a deep side, shallow as it seems. No
Oh,
wonder you
man.
can't recline that it's full of steam. You be spending all this cheap time chasing about a dream. Living such a cheap life, but I can
Holy
say a thing.
shit.
Swimming in a deep side. No wonder you can't recline. You be spending all this cheap time. Living such a cheap life, but I can say a thing.
Sheesh! What the fuck, bro? I was not expecting that, man. Well fucking done. Flow is crazy. The mix is fucking stellar. Holy shit. Alright, let's break this down. We're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Deep Side. So, let's talk instrumental, because this is quite the fucking instrumental. I believe self-prod, but if not, whoever this prod is, shout out them. The mix is fucking great. Drums is fucking extremely knock. Vocals sit nicely as well. Nothing clashing too overbearing. Levels are solid. Everything kind of has its own space. Mix is really great. Let's discuss the Shining Star, because man, I love this melody. This melody is so fucking fire. It just brings that like real good like alternative rock / like pop feel. But these drums, man, and like the instrumental structure itself is also like really fucking solid. I feel like you can't sleep on the instrumental structure at all. Either structure or drums, man. Either structure or drums. I'm gonna have to go with drums. The drums just keep the bounce up. They knock real hard, and the vocals sit nice on them. So definitely the drums. Definitely drums for sure. So the instrumental very very solid. Let's talk vocals here. Vocal mix is fucking stellar, super crisp, really well rounded, and some of the best Al Runa vocals like we've heard yet. I love the vocal mix, I do. So I wouldn't touch it at all. Everything cuts through nicely, sits nice on the instrumental. Without a doubt, vocals are, one of the best mixes we've heard for sure. Vocal Shining Star. Vocal Shining Star is gonna be hard, because the flow and cadence on the verses is fucking crazy, but the hook itself is just really well written. So it's like, fuck. And I'm just a fan of the whole track's writing as it is. So, man, I'm trying to think. Maybe, I don't know, cause the flow and cadence and delivery on the verses is like, holy shit. I'm gonna go with the hook just because it's super memorable, and it's replayable, and it's leaving you wanting more, but you're just gonna go back and have this song on repeat. So definitely the hook, definitely the fucking hook for sure. Without a doubt, is the Shining Star. Yep. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums for the Shining Star. Vocals are great, definitely the hook for the Shining Star. Stock theme. So I've always been a pretty big fan of Al Runa's cover arts. Super simplistic, but really HD and really high quality. I just love this. I love this kind of direction for this kind of track, because it is kind of like a more of a sad track, but it's not an overly sad cover either. It's just like one of those like really excellent aesthetics for a track like this. So simple, attractive, and totally rememberable. Like again, this is definitely a cover you're gonna remember if you like this track for sure. The aesthetics are on point. Deep Side, the overall theme is relatively in the hook. You know, Al Runa's never been shy from laying all their emotions on the table, and I feel like when it comes to this hook, it says it all right there. And you know, a lot of people can relate to this hook and really just this whole track, to be honest with you. And Al Runa definitely really laid it all on the line here in this. Just to really be super descriptive, but also make you want to get up and move and bop your head. And it's totally one of those tracks. But Al Runa definitely got some like honest thoughts out here, and really made it easy for people that can't put certain things into words. You know what I mean? Or they just super relate to a lot of these lyrics. I feel like it's all said in the hook, and you know, sometimes overextending yourself for some people is pretty rough, but Al Runa does a really good job kind of putting that on display and really explaining how they feel. So I think they did a really good job with that. And again, kind of bringing the emotional personal lyrics with a high energy instrumental is nothing less than actual fucking gas. Like for sure. So be on the lookout for when this drops, and definitely show Al Runa some love. Thank you so much for the exclusive premiere as well. Make sure you follow Al Runa on SoundCloud. Literally 3 follows away from 220, my friends. And of course, make sure you follow Al Runa on Twitter. Literally 9 follows away from 170. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. Approaching 180 Subaroonies on the Music Mondays main channel. Make sure you go show the main channel some love. We upload 2 times a week, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff is available over there. And if you already have, you've been dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good stuff. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Thank you, my friend. Let's fucking get it, chat. I hope you're well. A little bit of a motor mouth there, huh? But we've had an insane night already. Like a really insane night. So let's fucking get it, baby. We're about roughly 2 hours into the show, so I'm gonna go take our halfway break now, and then we'll get right back into the rest of our community submissions. With that said, make sure you share the stream with your friends. Make sure you tweet out the stream. Make sure you're following if you're not already. And we'll be right back with Music Mondays, episode 125. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live with the Music Mondays podcast, episode 125. I hope you're hope you're well, hope you're chilling. We left off with the homie Alruna letting us premiere an exclusive unreleased track. Huge shout out to Alruna. Let's hop right back into this, my friends. So, Up next, we have a artist by the name of Frankie Goldie, a first-time submitting artist here on Music Mondays. Definitely don't know what to expect. So these are always super fun, chat. Super, super fun. I'm definitely interested. So let's see what we got here. Peace, love, and soup. Famous Juggalo. Let's get it, baby. Rocks Off. Frankie Goldie. 2023, brand new. Let's see what we got here. May 26th, so only a couple weeks ago. Arts Gas. Let's see what we got here, chat. I'm very, very interested. So, let's get into it. Frankie Goldie, Rocks Off.
Oh,
Devron.
it's like that. Okay. I came to get my rocks off, my rocks off. I came to get my rocks off, my motherfucking.
Okay, pull up in the coupe and check that motherfucking top off.
Damn.
Pull up in the coupe and check that motherfucking top off.
Came to get my rocks off, my rocks off. Came to get my rocks off, my motherfucking.
Okay, pull up in the coupe and check that motherfucking.
Those drops are throwing me off.
In the coupe and check that motherfucking top off.
Pull up to your spot, looking like a rock star. Double cup of Fago, mix it with the rock hard. Bitch, I really bleed the block, make my cock hard. Leave your bitch pissed off with the lockjaw. How many ounces can I fit in a blunt? Ride with your bitch, she sitting in front. I'm taking the kidneys, I'm ripping the guts. She know I'm a boss, she get what she wants. Mouth out, roll up, pick that, phone up. When I roll up, we go fuck. Came to get my rocks off, my rocks off. Came to get my rocks off, my motherfucking.
Okay, pull up in the coupe and check that motherfucking top off. Pull up in the coupe and check that motherfucking top off.
Came to get my rocks off, my rocks off. Came to get my rocks off, my motherfucking.
Okay, pull up in the coupe and check that motherfucking top off. Pull up in the coupe and check that motherfucking top off.
Goldie, man, I do cocaine like Dr. Roxo. Used to cut the cane and mix it with that rock salt. All I do is brunch, Blood and Mary's hot sauce. Discussing options with my partners at the top golf. She gon' pop and lock it, drop it from the window to the wall. It ain't tricking if you got it, pimpin', no bitch, not at all. Hold up, slow down, she gon' tear it up. Slide in, slide out, yo bitch wanna fuck. Came to get my rocks off, my rocks off. Came to get my rocks off, my motherfucking.
Okay, pull up in the coupe and check that motherfucking top off. Pull up in the coupe and check that motherfucking top off.
Came to get my rocks off, my rocks off. Came to get my rocks off, my motherfucking.
Okay, pull up in the coupe and check that motherfucking top off. Pull up in the coupe and check that motherfucking top off.
Outro was really solid. Okay. Okay, this was great for a first time submitting artist, man. Let's break this one down, chat. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Rocks Off. TDG, what's good? I see you in chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Hope you're well. Beat and flow are crazy. I definitely agree. Definitely agree. So speaking of beats, let's talk instrumental. So let's talk mix. Mix throughout the whole track is really solid, really well rounded. But as far as the instrumental goes, really solid. Definitely with the kind of the vocal sample going on and the drums, everything is really like tightly mixed. Everything kind of like has its own space. So I definitely think this is like a really tight mix for sure. Really well rounded. I like the structure a lot. I definitely feel like the structure of this is like super fucking solid. As far as the instrumental goes, but I really like the drums too. It brings that like organic, like funk, kind of like, you know, almost slightly old school hip hop feel. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say drums. Drums are really solid on this instrumental. Definitely the shining star, for sure. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is great as well. Again, like I said, the whole track is really mixed down to a T. I like the levels a lot. The drums cut through nicely on the vocals. The vocals sit nicely on the instrumental. Um, no gripes with the vocal mix whatsoever either. Um, this was like such an interesting track when it comes to like conventional structure, and I like how Frankie kind of took like a different approach here and like really made this unique, right? Like with all like the stop and like the redrops and kind of like really just spicing things up in like little ways. I feel like a lot of that was like it just really made the difference, you know? So when it comes to vocals, um you know, there's a couple things I like. The writing for sure, but the flow and cadence really again brings that kind of like funk kind of feel. Um, so yeah, probably flow and cadence. I definitely enjoy the writing as like a close second though. Writing for sure. Um, super like simple writing, but like very descriptive. You know what I mean? So writing's definitely a close second, but vocals are solid. Definitely the delivery, flow and cadence for sure. Um, overall theme. So let's talk aesthetics first. Um, I mean, come on, like you can't really get any better for like a single cover. This is hard as fuck. I like the parental advisory in kind of like that weird like middle spot. Rocks off in the bottom. You got Frankie at the top. Kind of like a blue and black color palette, a little bit of white there. Came out really solid. Definitely a ideal single cover for sure. I definitely enjoy this as a single cover without a doubt. Okay. So aesthetics on point, I definitely enjoy those. Um, hmm. So overall theme, I mean, relatively simple, right? Like rocks off, and Frankie kind of has like a lot of wordplay in this track that really either relate directly to rocks off and rock star and like there's a lot of like really cool wordplay in here. So like the lyricism and the flow and cadence are really what matters here. I feel like Frankie just caught a vibe on this and was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep going. You know what I mean? Like sometimes songs just come to you and you don't really necessarily have like a super like here's like a blanket theme kind of deal. But yeah, no, I definitely feel like uh Frankie nailed it when it came to having a song be not necessarily about the theme, but when it comes to songwriting, lyricism, Frankie definitely put it all in this one track for sure. So with that said, huge shout out to Frankie Goldie. Make sure you follow Frankie on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow Frankie on Twitter. Frankie is approaching 470 followers on the Bird app, man. Go show Frankie some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 subroonies on the main channel. So if you haven't subbed, consider doing so. We upload 2 times a week. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff available on the channel. And if you already have been showing love, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my friends. Let's fucking get it, baby. Quite the night here, chat. Quite the night. Couple first time submissions. Lots of real fucking like interesting first time submissions as well. So tonight's top 3 is gonna be really awesome. But up next, we got the homie Sin, aka Survival and Negativity. They submitted a track titled Retween from our Nightlife for Thinking Introverts EP. Hope you enjoy and thanks for listening. So, Survival is a I would go ahead and say like more of an alternative side of a hip hop artist, but definitely a hip hop artist nonetheless. So, let's see what we got here. A little bit of a lyric video. Yeah, let's see what we got here. We love that. Let's see here. Put that on 720. quick lyric vid made with Canva for our song Retween from our second EP, Nightlife 4, Thinking Introvert. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for listening. Okay, Sin. Love to hear that, baby. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we can do. So, survival negativity and be positive. Retween lyric video.
Those were the days I remember.
If the city could talk, it tell the story of villainous in insidious hearts. Innocence lost to obsidian darkness overlay. While the skyline towers over us like predators over prey. Relishing in the moments we're known to pray. And reminding us of the darker essence of his presence when pulling our hopes away. Whether placed in faith, family, science, or otherwise. Demise in the face of sanity lost. I pondered on the cost of our humanity on a short walk home on one of the many streets lives are known to be lost on senselessly, endlessly. Classic case of do you know the enemy? A car gets pulled over for the routine stop, speed penalty or something or another. The driver is a brother and liable to be smothered in the flashlight questionnaire to test whether he'll be the runner-up or the next to bear the martyr title. Who do call for homicide prevention when even the cops are homicidal? The driver's asked to step out of the vehicle, and that immediate feeling of uneasiness creeps into the scene, and I feel a pull on my heartstrings. Did I pull out my phone and record just in case it turns into another George, or am I just pouring too much on it and jumping too far forward with the morbid conclusions? A voice morphs to a muse in the back of my mind through the confusion, reminding me of advice divided up through my youth about minding one's business. Steer clear of drama and make it home. Don't try to be no one's hero. They got their problems, you got your own. But in this moment, who knows if me just taking notice can mean the most for this cop approaching this motorist. But instead, I just went home, plopped into bed. For all I know, he's probably dead.
That was crazy as fuck. What the fuck, bro? Holy shit. Well, just like that? God damn. What the fuck, bro? The storytelling was like... Wow. Holy shit. Wow. Holy fuck. Alright. Let's get into it, chat. Let's break this one down. This will be a good one. So, let's talk about three things. Or talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Retween. So, man, oh man. Alright, so let's talk instrumental. Really coming on like the classical side of things of hip hop, but like with a more modern twist and sound. I'm big on the melody too, but before we get into that, mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Really, really solid mix when it comes to the instrumental. Drums cut through nicely. Levels are great. I like the instrumental mix a lot, for sure. Was a pleasure to listen to. Shining Star has to be the drums, just because the drums were like just such a crucial part of this bounce and keeping the flow up. So drums all day. The sound selection on the drums were really solid as well. So another huge Shining Star there for sure. Let's talk vocals. So vocal mix is fucking insane. Really raw, but not too raw. Keeps it crispy. Sits nice on the instrumental. Everything cuts through nicely. So the vocal mix, excellent. Writing. 100% writing is the shining star for the vocals. It's not even a question. The writing is for sure the shining star. It's just some of the most like, it's such a story, but like so true to so many people, and just like one of those tracks that like is so powerful and just cuts off right at the end, and the songwriting all day, and then the delivery and the flow and cadence were like a close second for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing, flow and cadence close second. Let's talk theme here. So obviously no cover. but the lyric video itself was a nice touch, especially when it comes to like this like long, windy, dark road, and just kind of mixing like the lyrics along with like some like slight edits. I feel like this was perfect for what this song is truly about when it comes to the theme. And the overall theme is relatively obvious. I mean, we pretty much get told a story here, and it's a very important one. One of those that like needs to be said and makes songs like this completely timeless because they mean so much more than just a song. You know what I mean? So this was a really important one, and I always love taking the time to really dissect these and put some attention on these because I really just this one definitely is important, 100%. So songwriting 100% is like super clear, and just the overall theme of this track is unfortunately relatable to so many people, but I feel like it's so important to be said and put out in music like this. Really is. So with that said, huge shout out to Sin, Survival of Negativity, and Be Positive. Thank you guys so much for the submission. And make sure you sub to Sin. They are literally 8 subaroonies from 50. And of course, make sure you follow Sin on Twitter. Literally 3 follows away from 190. Make sure you go show him some love, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. Approaching 180 subaroonies on the main channel. If you haven't already subbed, we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, and a whole lot of good stuff is available on the channel, my friends. So, shout out to you guys. And if you already have been, thank you, thank you, thank you. We see you dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good stuff. Let's get it, baby. Let's go. So, huge shout out to Sin. Thank you so much for the submission. Up next, we got the homie Evan Rossi. Many thanks for the kind words last time. Lots of new material has come out in the last few months, but I didn't want to clog up your works with too much of my nonsense. Please do check out my newest, though, Delaminated. Okay, so a couple of things with this caption. We're always going to get a large amount of submissions. That's why we have the show for our limit in place. So never feel like you're clogging up anything or, you are doing too much or you're always submitting. We have a lot of returning community members and we have a lot of the newer community members as well, always submitting. So feel free, especially with the show limit now, there's no guarantee that you're going to be heard, especially with the Patrons going first. So always submit. Feel free to submit. Always, definitely. That's never a problem at all. But Evan is also a very talented producer, definitely more of an analog kind of ambient style producer, and they have a very, very, very unique sounds. So let's see what they got here. They submitted a 2-track EP titled Delaminated. So let's see what we got here, and we'll play the first track off of this 2-parter here. Holy shit, this is 8. Let's say 8. Yeah, no, this is 8 minutes and 31 seconds. Okay, let's get into it. Evan Rossi, Delaminated. Let's go. Such a crazy intro. What the holy shit. That was very interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm definitely excited to break this down. So, couple things. All right. So obviously no vocals. So we're gonna talk about the instrumental and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Delaminated. So obviously a two-part kind of EP here, side A and side B. Obviously we're only gonna listen to side A. Just because we have other submissions to get to, and that's that's just how we do albums. But yeah. So let's talk mix. Mix is solid. Nothing clashing to overbearing. It's a very ambient instrumental, so there's not your conventional kind of instruments and things like that in here. So like the mix isn't too not important, but it's definitely not as prevalent as it would be with something with drums and instrumentals and things like that. But with that said, what is here and all the samples that were used and the structure and things like that, the mix is solid. Mix is really solid. Nothing clashing. Nothing like doing too much or like too overbearing at all. I definitely feel like this was a solid mix. So Shining Star when it comes to this is very interesting, right? Because I feel like this gave me very much like indie horror video game kind of like this could easily be used in like a horror movie or like some kind of like ambient scene or anything like that. Like I could totally see this being used without a doubt. Um so when it comes to the Shining Star, I definitely like the structure for sure, just because it is like an 8-minute track. So like the structure had to stay fresh. And you had to keep refreshing and keep the listener engaged. So structure was easy with Shining Star. My only recommendation, because obviously this is all like creative liberty, is definitely make these shorter if you're not doing it for like a project purpose, right? You're not working on a video game with somebody or you're not working on a short film or things like that. I would definitely shorten these up. Just to get more out of what you have here, right? Because this could easily be like a 4-track EP if you really wanted it to be, instead of 2. Because even 4 minutes a piece is still pushing kind of long for one single track, especially an instrumental. So, 8 minutes was definitely like dragging it out, and I would definitely shorten them a bit. You know what I mean? But again, kind of like a creative liberty thing. But I wouldn't even say that's super crucial, just because clearly structure is not an issue. You know what I mean? Because the track was always very much refreshing and not repetitive. So that's always a positive, right? So instrumental solid, definitely structure, for sure. Let's talk theme here, though. So, interesting cover. Delaminated, right? And then we have side A and side B. So, it's like such a like abstract kind of like interesting cover to look at, right? Like if you look at it for too long, it'll start like doubling up and shit. So definitely a cool cover for a project for sure. A little bit of a crop of the logo in there too, which I like. I think that's like a nice touch. Definitely project worthy for sure. Overall theme delaminated. It like delaminated is just one of those words that sounds ambient. You know what I mean? So like fuck, this is definitely like on brand and like on point with a theme for sure. It feels like an ambient project. So well done, my friend. With that said, make sure you follow Evan on Bandcamp, and of course, make sure you follow Evan on Twitter. Evan is approaching 230, 3 away on the Bird app, so make sure you go show Evan some love, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 Zubbaroonies on the main channel, so go show the main channel and these artists some love. And if you haven't, we upload 2 times a week, man, every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the main channel, so go show the main channel and these artists some love. And again, if you have, drop a like, drop comments, all that good stuff. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, and thank you, my friends. So, huge shout out to Evan, but up next, we got the homie Filter. Filter has been on a fucking roll, like truly on a roll. Super talented alternative vocalist, and they submitted a track titled 17. Let's get into it. So, okay, we have an unreleased track here. So this is not public. Okay. Hashtag nerdcore. So we have that same childhood throwback as the cover, which is really cool. And some lyrics and description. So let's check this out. Exclusive unreleased filter premiering right now. 17.
I'm having it. All these sold out shows and nigga cabinets. Yeah, going up. I'm 17. I'm future son. I haven't seen better times and days. Yeah, I'm having it. All these sold out shows and nigga cabinets. Yeah, going up. I'm 17. I'm future son. I haven't seen. Catch me outside with a baddie. Got no eyesight, cause I can't see. Yeah, I'm up in my spot with my shit, give a fuck, yeah, turn you to a lick, yeah, let's talk about it, cause you're a bitch, yeah. All you got is white shirts on your fits, yeah, let's talk about it, pull up with some mix, yeah, let's talk about it, you pull up with bricks, better times and days, yeah, I'm having it. All these sold out shows and nigga cabinets, yeah, going up.
Okay.
17. You said I haven't seen better times and days. Yeah, I'm having it. All these sold out shows and nigga cabinets. Yeah, going up. I'm 17. I'm future said I haven't seen.
Shit, man. Okay. So this was crazy. This was so like solid and like well put together. Like really well put together. So let's break this down. We're gonna talk about three things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of 17. So, man, oh man, oh man. I assume self-prod just because of the beat tag at the end, but whoever produces did a fucking insane job. Like a really insane job. I'm big on the structure. I'm big on a couple things here, but let's talk about a few things. First things first is the mix. Let's talk mix. So nothing clashing, too overbearing at all. Everything is leveled out nicely. Really just a well thought out and like a well put together mix, to be honest. Again, everything cuts through nicely. Melodies are great. Everything kind of has its own space. Sounds like very theatrical. Very loud in general, but obviously like not too loud. Like everything's like really solid. So mix is A1 for sure. I really like the melodies here and like the overall structure of the instrumental, like especially like more towards the end. Like I'm pretty big on this, man. Like I'm not gonna lie. So probably the structure. It's got to be the structure, but I don't. But the melodies, though, man, I don't know. Yeah, no, because the drums are super solid too. So probably the melodies, just because it brings that like high energy, but the drums like keep it really like hard. So probably the melody for sure. So instrumental solid. Definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals. So, vocals, my friends. So let's start with the mix. Again, a big fan of this vocal mix. Not too raw, but not too like overdone either. Definitely in the right spot to like capture that emotion that Filter has, but also like keeps it like really tight sounding as well. So big fan of the vocal mix. Again, sits nicely on the instrumental. Everything cuts through really good. So, big W on the vocal mix for sure. You know, I love the writing and the flowing cadence, but this hook is crazy. Like the way it's delivered, the way it's written, the hook all day. Definitely the hook for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme here. So we've discussed this cover art a couple times already, if not just once. But I'm always a big fan of these kind of like throwback childhood covers, and you know, they're not only like nostalgic, but they can always like mean a lot to you as an artist. So always like a really solid choice, and I definitely think is a solid go-to if you didn't really want to like go any other route, you know. So again, solid when it comes to the aesthetics. Overall theme 17. I mean, kind of filter describing like what life is like right now, you know what I mean? Like almost like a day in the life, but not really, because there's like some subliminals, there's some like day in the life shit, there's like, you know, there's like a lot of honesty here, but there's also a lot of like, here's me, take it or leave it, you know what I mean? And that's why it's called 17, because it's like that's what filter is now, 17. So a very honest track, if you will, but also keeps up like the high energy. So well done. Huge shout out to Filter. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Filter on SoundCloud. Literally 6 followers away from 210. And of course, make sure you follow Filter on Twitter. Filter is literally 3 followers away from 20, man. Literally 3 followers away from 20. Go show Filter some love, man. Super talented. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 subscribers on the main channel. We upload 2 times a week. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good stuff's available over there. So go show the channel some love if you're interested. And for those of you that have, thank you guys. You guys are wonderful. Dropping likes, dropping comments. Love you guys. Thank you much. So, let's get it. Up next, we got the homie Ivanko. Very talented alternative artist. I believe we reacted to one of their tracks last week or the week before. But they've always been killing it in 2023, man. Between SoundCloud Sunday and the things that we've reacted to here on the podcast. So I'm definitely excited to see what Ivanko has for us here. So they submitted a track titled Temper. Pop this open a new tab, see what we got here, chat. Ivanko and Maximus. Okay. Well, let's get into it. Ivanko, Temper.
Man, don't you hate that? I know, right? Things you just can't stand, so you smoke all night. A lot of people looking for a new lease all the time. Coming towards mine, you just overdose on like Vigo Banana, just like blank. Through the curry, no step, no 1,000 bands. I keep it funny. Young Joe Dramani, I'm hung like a Salem witch. Say what I want if you run me up, make it quick. Stick to the code, stick to the core. Said I'm not sure how to live anymore. Can't keep up to the world, turning too fast, beating up a walls like Berlin way back. Got me doing all these like I set the oxen free. Fall like autumn through thoughts of you and I as we melodrama projecting all of my trauma, seeking heat like Obama's missiles. You ran Uganda, you fixed it. I meant it when I said it to you. Living like the future's any second now. I gotta slow down, let myself create. Now I wanna raise the stakes. Probably should've hit the brake. Is it too late? Way too high. Gotta watch my temper. 2.5 grams in that hip. Homie got mad dab. Took a fat dab. You try straight back. Everybody AK more. Too high. Gotta watch my temper. 2.5 grams in that hip. Homie got mad dab. I took a fat dab. You can talk straight back. Everybody AK. Man, don't you hate that? I know, right? Things you just can't stand. So you smoke all night. A lot of people looking for a new lease all the time. Some of those minded overdose on life.
Damn.
Some of those minded overdose on life.
When I'm angry, I'm a blow smoke and I sedate every day, burning a herb when I'm drinking to drown. Tranquilize or I'll set fire to your house. The state killed Christ and all caps are bastards. And nature is forced with the patterns ass backwards lies and not true cause the shit is bananas. Fact check this food, only hear it from hackers. Trying to stay calm while I'm disarming this bomb. Dropping on stop on the unwashed savant. I would concede this shit needs deleting. She's screaming like I'm gonna send you to Jesus. Temper, apocalypse prepper. Transcendental bends and burning like an ember. Rebel mentor. I'll never surrender. Do you think you own me? You don't. Do you think
Just cuts out like that. Holy shit. Okay. Damn. All right. All right. All right. So this is definitely some cook shit right here. Let's break this down. We're talking about three things. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Temper. So, wow, such high energy on this track for sure. Uh, hmm. Okay. Let's talk instrumental. So mix is fucking solid. Again, nothing clashing to overbearing. Drums cut through really nicely. Vocals sit really nice. Instrumentals leveled out. Everything's like really solid when it comes to this mix. So again, big fan of the instrumental mix for sure. Um, hmm. I'm gonna have to go with drums just because the drums like keep up such a high energy. So drums are definitely a shining star for sure, and they play like such a major role in this track itself that I feel like drums have got to be it for sure. Um, Drums are almost like the third verse, if you will. So instrumental solid, definitely drums are the shining star. Let's talk vocals. So vocal mix is really solid for both. Cuts through nicely. It sits on the instrumental really nice. Um, Nothing clashing too overbearing. Again, levels are pretty solid here. Definitely a well-rounded kind of tight mix for sure. It is, um, without a doubt. So vocal mix is really solid, but Shining Star is kind of tough because I feel like writing is really crazy for both. But there is this kind of like cipher almost like kind of structure on here. So like I don't know. There's a couple of things I really like about this, but the high energy really gets me. So that's why flow and cadence is like really important here. So definitely the flow and cadence for the vocals for both of these two because well fucking done on the vocals for sure. Great duo here. Um so instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocals are really solid, definitely the flow and cadence. Let's talk theme here. So cover is really solid. Whoever drew this, again, excellent fucking job. Really like one of those like duo covers where you just kind of take like you and the other artist and you get slapped on the cover in one form or another. But in this case, it's a drawing. So again, well done. I kind of like the style a lot, and I enjoy this approach. So definitely worthy single cover art for sure. Aesthetics are on point in my opinion. Temper, the overall theme. I mean, there's no like clear overall theme. There's definitely like a high energy, and there's a couple of like lines and wordplay here about having a temper and just really being like high energy in like the whole track. I feel like tempered like this could be one that you could like go crazy with. You know what I mean? Like you could like easily like have this be a gym song, a running song, a clean the crib song, like totally like get up and move kind of track for sure. So calling it temper definitely like made sense. But definitely more of a cipher kind of showcase of lyricism rather than like a super like underlying theme here. So well done. Well done. And with that said, huge shout out to Ivanko. Make sure you follow them on Spotify and of course make sure you follow them on Twitter. Literally approaching 3.6K on the Bird app. Well fucking done. Make sure you go show them some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. Approaching 180 subaroonies on the main channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff's available over there. So if you haven't subbed, please consider doing so. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my friends. So, huge shout out to Ivanko. You'll probably see us working on some collaborations here pretty soon with Music Monday. So, huge shout out to them. But up next, we got the homie Ivica Glass. It's been a while since we've heard from Ivica here on the show, man. Former Music Money staff member, very talented alternative vocalist, designer, owner of Lab Grown, multi-talented artist for sure. But they submitted a track titled "Sleep on the Floor," Prod Astral Trap. Okay. And we got a Bandcamp link here, so let's see what we got here. Let's pop this open a new tab. And let's see what we got. Okay, and we got some lyrics up in here too. Vacation / Sleep on the Floor, Prod, Astral, Trap. Cover is really well done as well. All right. Let's see what we got here. This is from February 2023. So definitely not old, but definitely not super brand new. So let's get into it. Sleep on the Floor. Ivica Glass.
Check 1 2. Check. Can't think clear out that I ever could. Life went by, I don't think that I understood. Now I'm staring down the face of 26, trying to figure out if I have purpose. What the fuck could that be? I've got no college degree, work a dead-end job, then go home and smoke weed. Feel like the ash stuck under my keys. Irrelevant, but still needs to be clean. I don't wanna be me anymore. Lie easy, sleep on the floor. Smoke more than I can afford. Quit rap, go to a fucking chore. I don't wanna be me anymore. Lie easy, sleep on the floor. Smoke more than I can afford. Quit rap, go to a fucking chore. Have a shot of pop, that's long gone. Guess I always have your front lawn. Guess I always have your front lawn. Guess I always have your front lawn. Been a minute since Camel Crush's backyards and paintbrushes. Decade past and I'm still the fucking same. I'm Cal Beast, but I got a better name. Melting pieces of my motherfucking brain. I don't wanna be me anymore. Lie easy, sleep on the floor. Smoke more than I can afford. Quit rap, go to a fucking chore. I don't wanna be me anymore. Lie easy, sleep on the floor. Smoke more than I can afford. Quit rap, go to a fucking chore. I don't wanna be me anymore. Lie easy, sleep on the floor. Smoke more than I can afford. Quit rap, go to a fucking chore. Have my shot of pump, that's long gone. Guess I always have your front.
Yes. I feel like Astral and Ivica are like a real like slept on duo. I like the like alternative approach with like Astral's production. Super fucking solid. Super solid. So let's break this down. We're talking about 3 things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Sleep on the Floor. Oh man. So let's talk instrumental. Prod, Astral, Trap. Huge shout out to Astral. Really like laid back, almost like ambient, but not really, kind of instrumental. One of those instrumentals that's like you could see almost any flow on it, and like you could really like it's like super flexible. You know what I mean? It's really one of those instrumentals that like it can be like a super powerful song or a super chill song, just based on like what you want it to do with it. I had to put my phone on the charger. So, yeah. Let's talk mix though. When it comes to the instrumental mix, very, very solid. Nothing clashing to overbearing. I think drums are great. Everything cuts through nicely. Vocals fit nicely. Mix is really well rounded when it comes to the instrumental. I like the drums a lot though. The reverse kind of instrumental is really solid, but the drums play like such a major role here. I feel like you gotta talk about the drums. The drums are great. Give it that like bounce that it needs, but it doesn't go too crazy. Especially when it comes to the hats. I like the drums a lot, for sure. So the instrumental's solid. Drums are great. Let's talk vocals. So when it comes to vocals, vocal mix is pretty solid. Vocals sit nice. Everything cuts through pretty nicely. I think it sounds great. Not too like raw, but not too like overdrawn out either. You still get that like emotion out of their lyrics. So vocal mix is definitely solid. So when it comes to vocals, there's a couple things I really like about this. I like the flow and cadence. I like the writing a lot, and I like the hook. And I like the structure. So it's kind of hard for me to pick just one. But if I really, really had to choose, probably the hook. just because Ivica sounds really good when they deliver it, and it just wraps around nicely. Especially clocking in at 2:01, it's definitely one that like has like a valuable 2 minutes. You know what I mean? It's not just like the hook over and over again. You know what I mean? Like it's a solid, good 2 minute track with a lot of substance. So that's why I say the hook is really solid here for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocals are solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme. So Ivica is definitely a really solid abstract artist, and you can always expect a really like just like decent piece for their cover, always, and definitely a worthy single cover here, 100%. Always well done, always high quality. And I'm just a fan of Ivica's style for sure. The whole layout here is actually really nice, to be honest with you. But Sleep on the Floor, it's pretty like it's pretty self-explanatory. The overall theme, just because it's one of those tracks where like everybody has felt like how Ivica is describing themselves at one point in your life, and if you say you haven't, you probably will, or you're just lying. You know what I mean? So this is definitely a very like relatable track, and probably a really positive one to be able to get out and just really write down these thoughts, and really be able to perform them in a meaningful way. Again, like, you can appreciate the songwriting even if you're not necessarily like relating to the track itself like right this second. But again, even if you do relate to it, that makes it all the better. Definitely makes it like super personal and emotional, and like one of the more positive things about music is being able to get your words and thoughts out in ways like this. So well done. Huge shout out to Ivica Glass. Make sure you follow them on Bandcamp, and of course make sure you follow Ivica on Twitter. They are approaching 830, literally 4 away from 830. So go show them some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 subaroonies on the main channel, my friends. So make sure you go show these artists some love, and show the channel some love if you haven't already. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, underground tips and tricks, exclusive segments, whole lot of good stuff available on the channel. So consider subscribing. And for those of you that have, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, man, oh man. Let's continue on, my friends. All right, so, man. All right, so up next, we got the homie Insomniac. And they submitted a really gas instrumental last week. Super talented alternative producer here. But this week, they submitted a track titled Peaking. Let's see what we got here. So, let's see. Cover is crazy. All right, let's get into it. Insomniac, Peaking. Damn. Awesome fade out. Really awesome fade out. Let's fucking get it, Ryuki. But, yeah, let's talk about this one because lots of things I like about this, for sure. So obviously no vocals here, so we're gonna break this down by two things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of peaking. I have a feeling I know what this track is about, but we'll save that for the theme. Let's talk instrumental first. When it comes to instrumental, the mix is great. Nothing clashing to overbearing at all, especially with the vocal sample kind of lurking around. The vocal mix is excellent. Everything kind of has its own space. Drums knock. Sample gets utilized really well. Structure's great. No gripes with the mix at all. I definitely think it's a really solid mix. Shining Star with the instrumental. I like a lot of these things. I like the structure. I like the drums a lot. I like the vocal sample, and I like the structure in the aspect of the vocal sample being used as like actual vocals. But like it was almost used as like a hook or like a verse, or like the drops were like really solid when it comes to the kind of like structure. So that drums are good, but the structure like really makes this track, man. Like the structure is like really, really solid on this track. So I'm gonna go ahead and say structure for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely a structure. Stock theme. So theme here, kind of obvious, but let's talk about aesthetics first. Really, really minimalistic kind of cover. I love the foreground. I love the font. I love kind of like just boom, Insomniac peaking. Here we are. Let's get it, baby. This is how you do it. Like, so yeah. For sure. So definitely worthy single art and definitely like matches the vibe that this track gives off. Without a doubt. So, overall theme, I mean, could be like peaking like in life, peaking like when you're doing drugs, like kind of like the rave dance EDM vibe. A couple different meanings this could have, but it all kind of relates because it is kind of like a dance alternative, fast-paced kind of pop, almost house techno vibe. So I like a lot of this, you know what I mean? Like the theme is so there, even though it's an instrumental track, and I love when producers kind of nail it with their themes and they just like you're able to dissect it without even getting an ounce of vocals. You know what I mean? So this is really well done. So with that said, huge shout out to Insomniac. Much, much love, my friend. Make sure you follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow them on Twitter as well. They're approaching 2.1K on Twitter, so go show them some love on the bird. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 Subaroonies on the main channel. So make sure you're subscribed. And if you're not, what are you doing? We upload 2 times a week. Every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there, man. And those of you that already have dropped like, shop comments, we appreciate you here on Mondays, and thank you, my friends. So, huge shout out to Insomniac, man. That was some rave shit there for sure. But up next, we got the homie Sallow. A first time submitting artist, but definitely not a actually I feel like we have reacted to them on the show. It's just been a while, I think. But they definitely make a couple SoundCloud Sundays, and yeah, super talented alternative hip hop artist, man. And they submitted Geist Pack 2. Me and Geist dropped a new project. Okay. So we got the whole project here? Alright, bet. So we'll go over the first track here. and we'll give our judgment. Oh, okay. So we got Realist Steezer. All right. With the homie Kawhi Rai. Hey. All right. So let's get into it. Sallow, Realist Steezer.
Guys, fuck this beat up already.
My entire century don't do shit like anyone. I'm the realest, these are send the checks as I see on. Roll another bim, I got red eye and it match my coat. Vintage polo blazer over Taylor Saint Laurent. I'm the loudest stepper smoking in these Cuban hills. If you upset by my dressing, I don't care how you feel. Got my mask from Paris, have me when I'm moving real. If it's under 7 figures, I can't take the deal. I'm a chaser, need that bag, I gotta catch a meal. Remember days I didn't know if I would eat a meal. But now I'm getting reservation places you can't go. Salo got them trappers and these kingpins in my clientele. Think they move like me, they stumble from the shock and awe. Now I'm in the gutter, how the fuck could I even fall? If you got an issue with me, we can meet and talk. But I can never shake his hand, that need just piss me off. How you look at me and think that you would gang the steez? You could never do like me, you're sick, but you're not EXP. I just pulled her to the function, now I'm rolling up a bill. KML and HSD, a recipe for ill.
Oh God, it's Kawhi, baby. About to pop my shit. Yeah, really Steve. I'm the freshest step in True Religion jeans. Yeah, I've been smoking on that dice, man. Down. I just up and copped the custom, made the order. Foreign bitches got through customs, had to cross the border. DJ only 2 on the charter. After I swear you ain't getting no tax value. I be on some different shit. You and me got differences. Differences, I split the way. Differences, he ain't no dog. Yo, bro, bitch. If I throw my shooter a bone, my dog gon' fetch, he gon' dash, snatch, grab and take your shit. I got sallow fucking expression in this bitch. It's cool, baby. I'm sorry for the way I am. The realest Steve. You can find me on that T.
Jeez, man. What the fuck? That was a really solid feature. Like, that could have been just as good without the feature if it was just Sallow, but the fucking Kawhi feature was like really solid on this. Like, it added like a different element. So let's break this down. We're gonna talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Realist Teaser. So sheesh. Let's talk instrumental. So Prodgeist, definitely a really solid mix, nothing clashing, too overbearing. Vocals sit really nice, drums cut through really nice. Yeah, an otherwise really well-rounded mix, to be honest with you. But man, drums all day. The drums, specifically the drum selection and the sound selection overall throughout this instrumental is fucking on point. Everything complements each other really nicely. So I'm a big fan of the drum selection, for sure. So that's definitely a shining star when it comes to the instrumental. Let's talk vocals. So vocal mix here is like, yes, big yes. Sallow and Kawhi sound really fucking solid. Again, everything cuts through nicely. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental. No gripes at all when it comes to the vocal mix. I think these two sound really solid, for sure. Shining star when it comes to vocals. I feel like they both flowed so nice. But I'm also like big on Sallow's hook, and I don't know. I like both of their flows though. I really do. I feel like this is probably like an underrated duo for sure. So yeah, probably flow and cadence, to be honest with you. Definitely flow and cadence, and I really like the delivery as well. So yeah, you could really add that in there. Definitely flow and cadence, for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drum selection. Vocals are solid, definitely flow and cadence for both. Let's talk theme. So we have a interesting aesthetic here. So you guys know how I feel about the IRL covers. Like, this is perfect. You know what I mean? Like, this is 100% like, this is like what you want to do if you don't really like want to go too crazy with cover art. The IRL kind of like DIY, just throw a filter on some like IRL shit is like always a good go-to, and it's always gonna work. Especially this one, like, as long as they're like high quality and you know, just slightly edit them, things like that. I feel like this is like a really solid cover. You know what I mean? And like really anybody's IRL covers just go well. You know what I mean? Always a safe bet. So aesthetics definitely on point. Totally like project worthy as well. Overall theme. Sallow definitely throws some subliminals at people they probably don't fuck with, and Kawhi definitely comes in and cleans up nicely. So this is definitely like a showcase of lyricism, and I definitely feel like Sallow like got a lot off their chest when it comes to getting some words out that like are just easier said in a track. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to subjects like this. So theme is on point. Well done, my friend. Huge shout out to Sallow. Make sure you follow KML on SoundCloud. They are 5 away from 80. And of course, make sure you follow Sallow on Twitter. They are literally 3 followers away from 340, man. Go show them some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 sub-aroonies on the main channel, my friends. So make sure you go show some love to the main channel. And subscribe if you haven't already, man. We upload 3 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good stuff is available over there on YouTube. And for those of you that have, thank you, my friends. Thank you for dropping likes, dropping subs, commenting, anything like that. You guys are amazing. Thank you, my friends. But let's continue on. Huge shout out to Sallow. But up next, we got the homie Laveries, man. It's been a minute. Last week we didn't get a chance to go over their submission because the show had ended before we got the chance. So it's good to be able to catch up with some Laveries here. But with that said, let's see what Laveries has for us this week. They submitted a track titled LA. And a very talented alternative hip-hop artist. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in this one because this one is from 2022, but it's not like super old either. So this will be really cool. This will be really, really cool. Kind of got like a little bit of a throwback here. So let's get into it. So 17 plus, okay. So Ain't Right, What You Doing, I Don't Care, in LA. So a little 3-piece EP in here. All right. A little 3-piece. Let's get into it. Laveries, LA. I like this piano a lot.
Love you, Magic.
I ain't been to LA, but I really wanna go there. I've been out the shrooms and the pills, and I don't have a care in the world right now. Got your bitch with me right now, and she sucking me on slow, ayy, and you'll probably never know, ayy,
Hey.
She don't wanna let me go, ayy, but she wanna go back home, ayy, I ain't been to LA, but I really wanna go there. I've been out the shrooms and the pills, and I don't have a care in the world right now. Got your bitch with me right now, and she sucking me on slow, ayy, and you'll probably never know, ayy, she don't wanna let me go, ayy, but I gotta get back home, ayy, I've been so fucking tired of the fake shit. You ain't doing shit for me, stop complaining. When I get home, I'ma get wasted, then wake up tomorrow and do the same shit. Now I know why your man didn't want you. You always bring up old shit that we been through. Don't text me, I done told you I don't miss you. Just act like you don't know me, we can play it cool. All my exes in the city gotta get out. I'm gonna move to LA and buy a penthouse, then get a new bitch with pussy make me pass out, and she'll stay wet, won't never be no fucking drought. That's the shit I'm tryna be on. Yo man wanna be me, but I'm beyond him. You won't find the one that ever compares to me. You won't feel how you felt when I was in your pussy again.
Damn.
That was your first time, girl. I know you love the sin. If we could run it back and do it all again, I know you would, girl. I know you would, girl. I know you would, I ain't been to LA, but I really wanna go there. I've been out the shrooms and the pills, and I don't have a care in the world right now. Got your bitch with me right now, and she sucking me on slow, ayy, and you'll probably never know, ayy, she don't wanna let me go, ayy, but she wanna go back home, ayy, I ain't been to LA, but I really wanna go there. I've been out the shrooms and the pills, and I don't have a care in the world right now. Got your bitch with me right now, and she sucking me on slow, ayy, and you'll probably never know, ayy, she don't wanna let me go, ayy, but I gotta get back home, ayy, I'ma take my BM out the Florida show, what's important, I'ma take my girl on the road when I'm touring, I can't really fuck with bitches that be out here whoring.
Instrumental is crazy on this. Let's fucking get it, baby. Okay, so a couple things to talk about here. I think this is a really well-rounded track, if we're being completely honest here. So let's break this one down. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of LA. So let's talk instrumental. So I love the instrumental choice overall. Mix is great, nothing clashing, too overbearing at all. Definitely a really solid structure as well. Vocals sit really nicely when it comes to Laveries. Everything cuts through nicely. I definitely like the mix for sure. Let's talk Shining Star. So I love the piano and the melodies here, but the drums are like really fucking solid. And then there's that vocal sample that was used. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say melodies, man. The melodies here are like such a strong point of the song, being like pretty emotional and almost like dreamlike. So definitely melodies. For sure, definitely melodies. Instrumental solid, definitely melody, Shining Star. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Very, very solid vocal mix. Nothing clashing to overbearing at all. I definitely feel like the vocals were like really on point for like what Laveries was going for. Nothing, that's too overbearing at all. It's just a really tight, well-rounded mix. Laveries usually has like pretty good mixes anyways, so not really a shocker, but always gotta point it out. I like the hook here, but the overall songwriting here on this track is like excellent, to be honest with you. Like, I could say just the hook, but the overall songwriting is like really well done here. So I would definitely say the hook for sure. Definitely the hook. So instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. I like the choice as well. Vocals are really solid, definitely the songwriting throughout the whole thing. Let's talk theme. So I said it earlier here in the show, and these kind of like DIY throwback, photos of you when you're younger, or this or this or this, are always such a good safe choice. Like, and again, especially for like a project or like a smaller EP, something like this is always really fucking solid. So I definitely like Laveries' choice here, and it definitely is like project worthy. You know what I mean? Some really good like throwback vibes, But overall theme, LA, pretty self-explanatory. Laveries talks about wanting to move to LA and experience kind of like a different kind of vibe, and really talks about relationship issues and like what it would be like to be out in LA and things like that. So it's real interesting perspective, and I like Laveries' theme here for sure. Relatively obvious, but a really solid one. Like, I just enjoy the songwriting throughout the whole track, to be honest with you. So, really on point theme. With that said, make sure you follow Laveries on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Laveries on Twitter. They are approaching 100 followers, only 7 away, man. Go show them some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 Sub-Roonies on the main channel, so huge shout out to everybody that already has sub in. If you haven't, we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the channel, man. So go check out our channel, and huge shout out to anybody that already has dropped likes, dropped comments, all that good stuff. Thank you guys, appreciate you. So continuing on, huge shout out to Laveries, but up next we got the homie Black Cash. It's been a while since we heard from Black Cash. They've been putting in work in 2023, if we're being honest with you. And that's kind of funny because they submitted a track titled Work, a super talented hip hop artist, quite the writer. And all in all, I'm definitely excited to see what we have here. So I have a DistroKid link here, by Black Cash, produced by Epic Beats, engineering by Kid Cosmo. Shout out to Kid Cosmo. I see Kid doing some work on Black Cash vocals a lot. So let's just go the Spotify version for sure. And let's see what we got here by the homie Black Cash, man. So July 23rd, 2021. Holy shit. So a couple years old. Definitely not brand new, but definitely not like ancient. Let's see what we got here. Black Cash, work.
It's just different.
Boss life music. We lit. You want that smoke, you can get it, nigga. You either on my side or you in the way. I can make a fake ass friend any day.
Damn.
Matter of fact, I need enemies, so when we see each other, it's gonna be that same energy. Motherfuck the arrangement. I don't buy to that fake shit. Rap bastard, same deal. Old ratchet, same clip. Different toilet, same shit. Same OG, I ain't changing. All I did was stop hanging with fraud ass niggas on that lame shit. I do this for real, I ain't playing. The whole tripping, hold up, bitch. I'm off that, I'm doing grown up shit. You say you love me, I can't tell. Fuck you, whole as hell. I'm ripping off these leeches. I'm shooting down these vultures. They pay me to take out the posers. I'm cocking it back and reloading. I do this shit all by my lonely. You never know what you gotta do till you gotta do it. That's word of my voters. South Carolina, it's a hood thing. Pull up with the stick and let the wood bang. Money Mac murder with the lick read. Have my young niggas pull up on the 6-speed. Y'all clowns entertaining the circus. I'm moving my music as purpose. Yo,
damn, bruh.
Worthless, the fuck is you doing? What moves are you making? Besides playing coach, nigga, tell all that faking. You ain't doing shit, and that's why you still hating. And that's why you still hating. Humble yourself, what you watching is greatness. I got what you lacking, you feeling complacent. It all boils down to the logic. Boss like music, independent with the project. No extension, we just get it. Do we shipping in the project? Cut the check, catch them out. Now we send it in the project. Play the beat, hit repeat. Now I'm giving them a body.
Holy
I go to work.
shit.
Put me on the beat, I go berserk. Savage on the track, I go to work. Work, I go to work. Work, I go to work. Work, I go to work. Put me on the beat, I go berserk. Savage on the track, I go to work. Work, I go to work. Work, I go to work. Work, I go to work. Savage on the beat, I go berserk. A few compliments to get the big round head. Nigga, I lied, your shit sound dead. You pushing for platinum, it wouldn't go lead. You should hang this shit up, keep your ass in the bed. All my niggas grind till the sun come. Knocking the hustle, it gets done. I can see it in your eyes, you don't want none, so take it like a heart and energy, but where you come from. I be on my grind 365. See the pain, see the hunger deep in my eyes. I don't need no gas to search out the truth. That's why I go hard in this fucking booth. Lazy nigga, you can miss with this subliminal. The way you still surviving in the game is just criminal. I move solid.
Oh my.
When everybody saying you trash, they ain't hitting you. So really what the fuck you expect? This shit is cutthroat. I just want to check. Fuck a bitch on that drama. I just want the neck. I just move in a different way. Cease the distraction. Show and prove. I'm about that action. Fuck you with that. Oh, he's just a rapper. Cause when you in a hospital bed, it's not a factor until you stitched up and bleeding right after. You can't compete with my ethic. Look at the pace I'm setting records. This is chess, not checkers. I be on the job site first. I clock in and I go to work. Put me on the beat, I go berserk. Work, work, work. I go to work. Work, I go to work. Put me on the beat, I go berserk. Work, I go to work. Put me on the beat, I go berserk. Savage on the track, I go to work. Work, I go to work. Work, I go to work. Work, I go to work. Put me on the beat, I go berserk. Savage on the track, I go to work. Work, I go to work. Work, I go to work. Work, I go to work. Savage on the beat, I go berserk.
Damn. That was fucking crazy. Bro, the flow and cadence on that one was fucking nuts. Like, really nuts. I can't believe this is from 2021. This is cooked. This is really cooked. Alright, so let's break this one down. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of work. Man, oh man, oh man. So, let's talk instrumental. Mix is great. Nothing clashing to overbearing at all. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals sit really nice. Yeah, no, all in all, a really tight instrumental mix, especially the way the drums knock. Excellent. Well done on the mix, for sure. Shining Star, man, gotta be the drums. Like, more specifically, the drum selection, because this 808 was fucking nuts. So definitely the drums, for sure. Drums all day. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. So when it comes to vocals here, We have another really solid mix. Vocals sit really nice on the instrumental. Everything cuts through nicely, especially the drums. A Black Cash sounds like really raw, but like not too raw. It sounds professional still, but it has that like real raw emotional delivery per usual. So a really tight, well-rounded mix here, 100%. But you know, not really a shocker. We're kind of used to the Black Cash like really tight, well-rounded mixes, but always gotta mention it. Shining star when it comes to vocals. Man, oh man, oh man. So, so much I love here, especially the songwriting, but the flow and cadence blew me away. Black Cash ate this up for 3 minutes with the craziest flow that, like, I just couldn't stop bobbing my head. Like, 100% flow and cadence all day, for sure. This was, like, aggressive, bouncy. It had that, like, hard-hitting effect and like, kept you, it kept you hooked because you just wanted to hear what the next lyric was or the next punchline. So, for sure. So definitely flow and cadence, but songwriting is like a close second for sure. Sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence. Writing is a close second. Let's talk theme. So, theme here is kind of interesting. Aesthetics first. I love the aesthetics of this. Like, I love the font. I love the foreground with the gym kind of image about like going to work. You know what I mean? Like putting in work. Like I feel like it's just on point with what Black Cash was talking about throughout this track. So 100% a perfect cover in my opinion, for sure. And just really well done because it's HD. You get the parental advisory in the middle. Definitely great. Definitely. Overall theme relatively obvious, but Black Cash talks about putting in work as opposed to the people that talk about it or just kind of like want to compare themselves to him or really we've all been there. And Black Cash also talks about how much work they put in as well. So a really like solid track and a really good way to remind people like how much work you do put in and how much work people still need to put in themselves as well. So a really simple but solid theme. And I think Black Cash did a really good job explaining it. Songwriting, flow and cadence, everything was there. So well done, my friend. With that said, a huge shout out to Black Cash. Make sure you follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Black Cash on Twitter. They're approaching 2.7 on Twitter. Let's fucking get it, baby. Make sure you show some love to Black Cash on The Bird. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 Subaroonies on the main channel. We upload 2 times a week, man. Every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff is available over there. So go show the channel some love if you haven't already, my friends. So let's fucking get it, baby. And for those of you that have, thank you, my friends. Much love to you. Drop them likes, drop them comments. We see you and we appreciate you. So up next we got the homie TDG, but we already reacted to TDG. Huge shout out to TDG for being a Music Mondays Patreon. If you'd like to see our reaction, make sure you go rewatch on YouTube or wherever you listen to the podcast on all audio stores. But up next we got the homie Lil Caesar, a very, very talented producer. Def changed it up and did something more ambient lo-fi rather than adventurous, but it's got better feedback than I anticipated. Eager to hear y'all's opinion if you listen. Okay, let's get it. If I had a heart, a lo-fi mix. Just some chill lo-fi shit before the crazy ones drop. Okay, so up next we got the homie Lil Caesar. Like I said, a very talented alternative, as well as a, multi-genre producer, if you will, without a doubt. So let's see what we got here, man. Very interesting. Lots of good feedback as well, like they said. All right, let's get into it. Lil Caesar, If I Had a Heart, lo-fi mix. I love the cover as well. Wow. Mix is crazy. Damn, I see why I got the feedback it did. I see why. I definitely see why. Holy shit, well done. Okay, so we're gonna talk about two things, because obviously no vocals, so we're gonna talk about the instrumental and talk about the overall theme of If I Had a Heart. So, let's talk instrumental. Mix is great, nothing clashing, too overbearing at all. Everything's leveled nicely. Everything cuts through nicely, everything kind of has its own space. Mix is really solid, but that's per usual with Little Caesar, so not really a shocker there at all. But always gotta talk about it. Shining Star, probably the drums. I love the way the vocal sample is utilized, and I love how you still can tell it's like a Little Caesar track, but it's way toned back, way more ambient, way more lo-fi. I see what they mean. But I love the drum choice, love the drum selection, and the overall drum mix of everything is just excellent. So drums all day for the instrumental for sure. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics are fucking crazy. I'm in love with this cover. This might be one of my favorite Little Caesar covers we've seen, bar none. Not even a question. Especially the different text of the parental advisory. Yeah, no, and it's just super high quality. Totally matches that like nighttime ambient lo-fi like vibe this gives off for sure. So aesthetics on point. If I Had a Heart is a great title for this, just because it brings that like nighttime 3 a.m. some shit that comes on that you don't change because you've never heard it type shit, you know. So really really solid theme, really solid everything here. If I'm being honest with you, I would love to hear more of this, and it's just a really like solid style, you know what I mean, really solid style compared to like what we're usually used to. So very versatile, well done my friend. And of course, make sure you follow Little Caesar on Twitter. Thank you so much for your submission. And of course, make sure you follow them on SoundCloud as well. Literally 5 away from 380. And like I said, follow them on Twitter. 2 away from 510. A cool milestone. And a huge shout out to Little Caesar. And with that said, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be links in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 sub-aroonies on the main channel. So make sure you go show the main channel and these artists some love, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the main channel, man. So go show these artists in the main channel some love. Get it, baby. And for those of you that already have, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Up next, we would have the homie SLM, but SLM's a Music Mondays Patreon, so they got their submission played second tonight. So if you're ever interested in cutting the line, so to speak, and want your submissions played first, feel free to go check out our Patreon and pick up a Music Mondays Fast Pass. So, our last 3 submissions of the night, chat. Let's get into it. We have the homie Sketchy Face up next. And Sketchy is a super talented, alternative, unique hip-hop, experimental kind of vocalist. Definitely more on the heavier side as well. But it's been a while since we've been able to react to some Sketchy Face, man. So they submitted a track titled, What the Fuck is Going On, y'all? So, shit, let's see what we got here. Pop this open in a new tab. Let's see, hold up. So I believe this is off their latest project. So let's take a look here. Yeah, it is, okay. So let's get into this. Sketchy Face, what the fuck's going on, y'all? Holy shit. Holy shit. Wow. Sheesh. Wow. Okay, this was quite the high energy track. This was like alternative pop metal. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit, this was well done. So a couple things to talk about here. Let's get into it. We're talking about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of what the fuck's going on, yo. So, instrumental. Mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Levels are awesome. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental. Really, really solid when it comes to the mix. Shining Star is 100% the fucking drums because this 808 knocks super fucking hard. And the drum selection itself was like really solid. So whoever prod this did a really fucking good job. Shout out this prod for sure. So the instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. So when it comes to vocals, vocal mix is really great. I love kind of what Sketchy did with the engineering, or whoever engineered this, again, did a really good job. Kind of the little things, you know, the background vocals, a lot of the smaller stuff, and a lot of the drops is like really fucking solid. But other than that, nothing clashing too overbearing at all. Again, there, again, vocals sit really solid on the instrumental. Everything cuts through nicely, drums cut through nicely. So no gripes with the vocal mix at all, not at all. So when it comes to vocals, I'm gonna have to go with flow and cadence all day, especially when it comes to like the hook and like how fast paced this actually was. I feel like Sketchy did a really good job with delivery and flow and cadence for sure. So drums are really solid. Definitely the shining star when it comes to the instrumental. Vocals are great. Definitely flow and cadence and delivery for sure. Let's talk theme. So this is from their project, The Butterfly Effect, which I think this is a fucking really solid project cover, and project title realistically. But when it comes to like the overall cover, when you consider this track, I feel like it's like just minimalist enough, but just attractive enough to really be like, okay, like this is hard as fuck. You know what I mean? It's totally project worthy, if you will. So a really, really, really solid choice, and whoever did that did a really good job, definitely. So the overall theme, what the fuck's going on, y'all? Definitely a more of like a rage kind of like mosh track. Definitely makes you want to get up and move. Definitely makes you want to like go to the gym, go on a run, even clean the crib. Like definitely one of those tracks you put on to like pump yourself up before something, for sure. And Sketchy does a really good job at that. A really, really good job at that. Definitely makes you want to move, like without a doubt. So probably one of the highlight tracks on the project. Hopefully we get a chance to react to some more here on the show. But with that said, huge shout out to Sketchy Face. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Sketchy on SoundCloud, literally 4 away from 170. And of course, make sure you follow Sketchy on Twitter, 4 away from 270 on there. Let's fucking get it, baby. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 sub-earnings on the main channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the main channel some love. And we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, underground tips and tricks, exclusive segments, whole lot of good stuff's available over there on the channel. And of course, if you already have, you've been showing love, dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good stuff. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, and thank you, my friends. Thank you. So, huge shout out to Sketchy. Let's continue on. Up next, we got the homie, the man, the myth, the legend, Offspring Mysterious. Multi-talented producer, writer, designer, filmer, editor, and an all-around really positive community member of the underground scene. So this week they submitted another edition of Music Art. Let's see what we got here, chat. I am down for a little more music art, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what we got here from the homie Offspring Mysterious. I am down. Let's get into it. 3 months ago, so not super old, but not brand new either. So let's get into it. Offspring Mysterious, Music Art, Illusion. Aw, shit. Oh shit. What the fuck? The transitions here are awesome. Well done. The prime outros. Let's get it, baby. Well done, Offspring. Okay. So we're going to talk about 2 things here, because obviously no vocals. We're going to talk about the instrumental, and we're going to talk about the visual, aka the addition of music art that we have here. So, instrumental solid. Nothing clashing to overbearing at all. I like the levels a lot, and I like the sound selection a lot. Again, nothing's clashing to overbearing. Everything cuts through nicely. Drums are solid. Everything kind of just fits nicely, you know. Everything's really snug on this one for sure. Everything kind of has its own space. Yeah, the mix is like real solid on this one for sure. The Shining Star, when it comes to the instrumental, I was gonna say the melody, but these drums are super bouncy and really keep up a lot of the energy in this. So definitely the drums, and more so the drum selection. I really like the drum selection a lot. So let's talk music art, man. Offspring has been putting out this series for quite a while now, and I don't want them to stop anytime soon because these are so awesome and a really good way to go back and re-promote some of your older tracks, just like Offspring has been doing. But the thing is with this one is like the real transitions and the real edits and like a lot of like the glitchy parts are super fucking cool. And you know, it just shows like the potential of so many different things that Offspring could do. Like endless ideas. Literally endless ideas. So well done. Shining Star here for this one is definitely the transitions and the editing for this edition of music art for sure. And like I said, well fucking done, my friend. Make sure you follow Offspring Series on YouTube. Literally 3 Subaroonies away from 110. Go show Offspring some love on the tube. And of course, make sure you follow Offspring on Twitter as well. Literally 8 followers away from 840, man. Let's fucking get it, Offspring. Well done. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 Subaroonies on the main channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. So make sure you go show the channel and these artists some love. Huge shout out to anybody that already has been showing love on the drops. Dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good stuff. And again, like I said, every Thursday and Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff over there on the channel. So go show the channel some love, my friends. And with that said, the last submission of the night, homie Curtis Brown, a first-time submitting artist, new single from Keon Brown. Muffin Man, tap in. Okay. So we got the homie Curtis submitting for the homie Keon Brown. Okay. SB Key, the Muffin Man. Let's see what we got here. First time submitting artist, so we don't know what to expect. So we'll stay open. So let's see what we got here. Smash Bros. ENT. On repeat, much love from Twitter. Thanks for dropping a link. Lots of love on the comments. Okay. So let's see what we got here. SB Key Muffman. First time submitting artist. Let's go.
I'ma run up these racks till I double it. Only me, I don't care about no other man. He be telling he work for the government. Brody, your shooter, I call him the Muffin Man. In my bag, you can say I've been duffling. On the road with the bro selling contraband. Yo, been mad with that hat, she in Wonderland. Can't blow it back, tryna bust out the rubber band. Peanut butter to the chop, cause it never jam. I was down, ain't no one give a helping hand. Now she all in my face like I give a damn. If you gon' do it, then do it, don't middleman. I'ma tax me a nigga like Uncle Sam. Bitch, you dumb if you think I'm a front of gram. I'm the #1 pick like I'm Cunningham. Yes, I go turkey, don't say I be going ham. You can lower the price if you shopping tonight, but tomorrow we backing it up. You can play dumb if you want, we got sticks in this club. Try to run, you get packed in the blunt. Yeah, she got a little butter, she don't give it up. Then let's shorty right there is a dub. I got a drink in my cup, I'ma pour the shit up. Cause remember the night is still young. Yellow shorty a slutter, she turning me up. Cause the guy over there is a bum. He said it's up and it's stuck and he better not buck. Cause I heard what he said in them songs. I just be in the cut trying to run this shit up. I remember them nights that were long. Give a shout out to my folk cause they already know they're the ones that been making me strong. How you saying this motion, your boys looking hopeless, you ain't even putting them on. Heard he was stuck in the gym when you look for the family, you couldn't even send him a bone. And I am who I am, yes I know I'm the man. While your bitch keep on calling my phone. No, we're not playing no Madden, that booty be clapping. I can't even get in my zone. I be hanging around smacking, that's really bad action. You playing, we getting you gone. They said that nigga be lacking, he be with the cap and the life that he live in a hoe. When the feature that's tapping, I just want the back and that's where I be making the most. Tryna be boy, you must be a hoe. Nigga said I was trash, now he bumping my songs. Like I'ma run it through till I double it. Only me, I don't care about no other man. He be telling he work for the government. Brody, your shooter, I call him the Muffin Man. In my bag, you can say I've been duffling. On the road with the bro
selling contraband. Yo, bitch mad with that hat, she in Wonderland. Can't blow it back, tryna bust out the rubber band. Peanut butter to the top, cause it never jam. I was down, ain't no one give a helping hand. Now she all in my face like I give a damn. If you gon' do it, then do it, don't middleman. I'ma tax me a nigga like Uncle Sam. Bitch, you dumb if you think I'm a fronogram. I'm the number one pill like I'm Cunningham. Yes, I go turkey, don't say I be going ham. I'ma run up these racks till I double it. Only me, I don't care about no other man. He be telling he work for the government. Brody, your shooter, I call him the muffin man. In my bag, you can say I've been duffling. On the road with the bro selling contraband. Yo, bitch mad with that hat, she in Wonderland. Can't blow it back, tryna bust out the rubber band.
Well fucking done, man. That was a crazy ass first time submission, I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty fucking crazy. Let's break this down. So we're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Muffin Man. So let's talk instrumental. Mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Everything sits nicely. Nothing's clashing whatsoever. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental. Everything's cutting through nicely. Just a really tight, well-rounded mix. Very professional sounding, really crispy. Just very, very solid when it comes to the instrumental, for sure. Instrumental Shining Star. I love the use of the vocal sample, but the drums keep up such a nice pace and keep up the bounce and the aggression of this track. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and say drums. And even sound selection overall was like really well done, but the vocal sample is definitely a close second, for sure, a close second. So the instrumental solid, definitely the drums, sound selection. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is great. Again, nothing clashing, too overbearing. Vocals sit really, really nice on this instrumental. Everything cuts through nicely a lot. Vocals sound like raw, but not too raw. It sounds like really crispy. So when it comes to vocals, mix is really tight. Man, Shining Star for vocals is kind of hard because like flow and cadence is fucking crazy, but the overall writing is like holy shit, because there is not one lack of punchlines and bars here that will make you like do like a double take, you know what I mean? So probably writing. I mean, flow and cadence is hot, man, but the writing's fucking crazy too here. Writing's really crazy. So definitely the writing when it comes to vocals. So the instrumental solid, definitely drums, sound selection. Vocals are great. Definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. So when it comes to a theme, let's look at aesthetics. So really minimalistic, but super HD cover. I always like the minimalistic approach. I always think it's like a really solid choice. And I like the color palette as well. Like the foreground and then like the parental advisory down below. Yeah. No, like I totally think this is like a perfect like single cover when it comes to a track like this. For sure. Definitely. Overall theme, I guess the title is in response to the lyric Muffin Man that SB used in here, but there's not like one really overall super theme. There's definitely just a couple of themes that SB touches on, but all in all, this is definitely a great showcase of lyricism and songwriting. The hook definitely explains the most of it, but SB touches on a few things in this track. So there's definitely a couple ways you could really take this whole track realistically. But all in all, songwriting is totally there. The lyricism totally there. And definitely a really good listen for any first time listener that's into like super raw alternative trap, hip hop. Just a really like solid showcase of lyricism for sure. So with that said, a huge shout out to SB. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go sub to their channel. They are literally 9 subs away from 110. And of course, make sure you follow SB on Twitter. They are approaching 100, literally one away from 100 followers on Twitter. So awesome milestone. Make sure you go show them some love, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. Make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 180 subscribers on the main channel. I think we're only like 3 away. So go show some love to the main channel. And of course, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, man. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there on the channel. So go show these artists and the channel some love. And of course, just got an email from Twitch randomly. Yeah, go show some love to the channel. And everybody that already has, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. And we see you. And thank you. So, with that said, chat, that does it for all of our submissions for episode 125 of the Music Mondays podcast. Let's get ready to say some goodbyes. Let's talk about what's coming up for the next week. And huge shout out to everybody that submitted tonight. Huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays Patreons. Huge shout out to SLM, TDG, and the rest of our Patreons. Blank Thought, Cole Gerard, King Mark, and the rest of our Patreons on there as well. You guys are amazing. And again, huge shout out to everybody that submitted tonight. Waz, Skeletor, Oathkeeper, Braden, Supersaurus, Alruna, Frankie, Sin, Evan, Filter, Avanko, Ivica, Insomniac, Salo, Laveries, Black Cash, TDG, Lil Caesar, SLM, Sketchy Fakes, Offspring, and Keon Brown, aka SB. Thank you guys for all of your submissions tonight. You guys are fucking amazing. Yeah, let's say our goodbyes, man. Let's talk about what's coming up for the week for Music Mondays, and let's kick it for a bit, man. So I hope you guys enjoyed this show. And of course you can find this on YouTube on Saturday and every Saturday. But what's coming up for Music Mondays and what's really going down? So, man, we have a stack of content to be able to get out this week. I have a lot of stuff, including in case you missed it monthly. You'll be getting 2 of those articles back to back. Expects a couple weekly articles this week from us as well. I have a couple of YouTube uploads booked. We should be getting Feature Friday and Workshop Wednesday completely done. And then behind the merch and a couple of other things will be worked on as well. So just keep your eyes peeled. We have a lot coming for Music Mondays. And again, we're working on our first merch drop, and we're kind of trying to push the Patreon a bit more. So again, tell your friends, follow us on socials, follow us at All Music Mondays as well. And with that said, my friends, it's been your host, Zom Slays. Make sure you follow Music Mondays, though. Make sure you follow Music Mondays, man. At All Music Mondays on all platforms. You can stream us on all audio platforms as well. Anchor.fm/All Music Mondays. And of course, you can follow me at Zom Slays on all platforms. And again, huge shout out to everybody that came through and showed love tonight. Huge shout out to, let's see here. Huge shout out to Ryuki. Huge shout out to Mark coming through with the primer for 13 months. Fucking love you. Huge shout out to SLM, TDG, and anybody else that lurked and chilled, just came through and hung out for a bit. We appreciate you guys, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my friends. Submissions will be live tomorrow for episode 126, so keep your eyes peeled. They'll be live at some point in the afternoon. If you're watching this on YouTube, they're already live, so go drop your links. But with that said, it's been your boy, Zom Slays. I love you guys. Take care. Be safe. And we'll see you guys next week for episode 126. Later. Take care. I love you. I love you. Le.